Uh, it's really wrong with our culture.
Hi. Impressive carrying skills, right? I got some Bud Lights for us.
Is there anyone on earth who suddenly is like, I do like light beer? And that's what I'm saying. This has more to do with culture than even selling products or anything else. What has happened to us? That Bud Light, which was the football beer, right? It was for men and all that. Well, now it's going to this pretend woman who's also at the same time mocking women in her behavior, his behavior, whatever. God, it's so stupid. It's telling you that something really is wrong with our culture.
Hi. Impressive carrying skills.
You look like your TikTok became a person, bro. You look fucking... you like jerked to a ring light. Like you look at that shit. Oh, it's on a circle. Ah! You TikTok guy? No? What? Good luck on the stage? Put him on the stage. Shit, no. Not a suggestion of that. That'd be the motherfucker on like an airplane being like, hey, let him fly it. Let him fly it.
This tweet from Billboard Chris, who responded to Elon Musk, he said, during her interview with you, she was most excited about your initiative to limit reach of tweets, which are deemed hateful, freedom of speech, not freedom of reach. In fact, that was her main selling point to the advertising execs in the audience, and she kept coming back to it. She went on to chastise you twice for tweeting after 3 a.m. because people are concerned about that sort of behavior. What? She also wanted advertising execs to be part of an influence council within Twitter. She's not here to improve the user experience. She wants Twitter to be a safe space. She represents advertisers, and her natural inclination is to limit speech and pander to those who push woke ideology on the world. You will have to watch her like a hawk. She was also thrilled to spend $100 million on social justice initiatives at NBC and forwarded government authoritarian propaganda that the way back to a normal life was to wear your mask. No doubt she'll bring in advertising revenue in the short term, which is a long-term mistake. Elon responded and said, I hear your concerns, but don't judge too early. This tweet from Billboard Chris, who responded to Elon Musk, he said, during her interview with you, she was most excited about your initiative to limit reach of tweets, which are deemed hateful, freedom of speech, not freedom of reach. In fact, that was her main selling point to the advertising execs.
I think you're right about almost everything. I mean, let's have more babies and raise them on Mars. I don't get that, but okay.
Well, I just think we should be cautious about civilizational decline and we have plummeting birth rates most places. Yeah.
Right, and also plummeting resources.
Resources will be fine.
But they're not fine.
I know a lot about
they're not fine now.
Look, I'm not suggesting complacency. We do want to move to a sustainable energy economy as quickly as possible, but we're not in any danger of resource collapse.
But lots of people don't have enough food or water. Water, we will run out of water. They're running out of sand.
No, Earth is 70% water by surface area.
But you can't drink that.
But desalination is absurdly cheap.
Why don't we do it then?
We do. It is done.
You have a lot of free time.
It is done. There is a lot of desalination done.
Okay, but
there's plenty of water. This is not an issue. I want to be fair.
All right. So I think you're right about almost everything. I mean, let's have more babies and raise them on Mars. I don't get that, but okay.
Well, I just think we should be cautious about civilizational decline and we have plummeting birth rates most places. Yeah.
Right, and also plummeting resources.
Resources will be fine.
But they're not fine.
I know a lot about
they're not fine now.
Look, I'm not suggesting complacency. We do want to move to a sustainable energy economy as quickly as possible, but we're not in any danger of resource collapse.
But lots of people don't have enough food or water. Water, we will run out of water. They're running out of sand.
No, Earth is 70% water by surface area.
But you can't drink that.
But desalination is absurdly cheap.
Why don't we do it then?
We do. It is done.
You have a lot of free time.
It is done. There is a lot of desalination done.
Okay, but
there's plenty of water. This is not an issue. I want to be clear.
All right. So I think you're right about almost everything. I mean, let's have more babies and raise them on Mars. I don't get that, but okay.
Well, I just think we should be cautious about civilizational decline and we have plummeting birth rates most places. Yeah.
Right, and also plummeting resources.
Resources will be fine.
But they're not fine.
I know a lot about
they're not fine now.
look, I'm not suggesting complacency. We do want to move to a sustainable energy economy as quickly as possible, but we're not in any danger of resource collapse.
But lots of people don't have enough food or water. Water, we will run out of water. They're running out of sand.
No, the Earth is 70% water by surface area.
But you can't drink that.
Desalination is absurdly cheap.
When do we do it?
We do it. It is done.
You have a lot of free time.
It is done. There is a lot of desalination done.
Okay,
but there's plenty of water. It's not an issue. I want to be clear.
All right. So I think you're right about almost everything. I mean, let's have more babies and raise them on Mars. I don't get that, but okay.
Well, I just think we should be cautious about some civilizational decline and we have plummeting growth rates. Most places.
Right, and also plummeting resources.
No, resources will be fine.
But they're not
and
fine.
I know a lot about
they're not fine now.
Look, I'm not suggesting complacency. But we do want to move to a sustainable energy economy as quickly as possible, but we're not in any danger of resource collapse.
But lots of people don't have enough food or water. Water, we will run out of water. They're running out of sand.
No, Earth is 70% water by surface area.
But you can't drink that.
Desalination is absurdly cheap.
When do we do it?
We do it. It is done.
You have a lot of free time.
It is done.
If I was 5'7", would you date me?
Okay, are you 5'7" down under too, or just like standard?
Are we talking inches or feet? What? That's a big
If
word.
you're 5'7" but got a 6'7" package, then it doesn't really matter.
You know, they named an episode after me on HBO Max, right? 6'3" down under.
Oh, I thought it was enjoy the little things in like episodes.
If I was 5'7", would you date me?
Okay, are you 5'7" down under too, or just like standard?
Are we talking inches or feet? What? That's a big
If
word.
you're 5'7" but got a 6'7" package, then it doesn't really matter.
You know, they named an episode after me on HBO Max, right? 6'3" down under.
Oh, I thought it was enjoy the little things in like episodes.
If I was 5'7", would you date?
Who elected you to expand and rewrite the scope of federal gun laws?
I'm appointed by the president and confirmed by
You
the
haven't
Senate.
been elected by anyone, is that right?
I do not stand. I'm not a politician.
Is your priority as ATF director to catch criminals who violate the law or to change the laws to create new criminals?
We use the laws as Congress has passed them to try to protect people from violent crime and catch people who are violating the law, murderers.
How is your regulatory agenda accomplishing that goal?
When Congress passes a law that Congress determines advances public safety, it has to be enforced by somebody. Law enforcement officials like myself and the brave men and women who work for me do that.
Congress didn't pass a law banning bump stocks, did it? Just answer my question, yes or no.
Congress passed.
Did Congress pass a law banning bump stocks?
Congress
Yes or no?
delegated to ATF rulemaking authority.
Congress
is
actually,
passed.
the courts held you don't have rulemaking authority. That was the Fifth
Ladies
Circuit
and
decision. Who elected you to expand and rewrite the scope of federal gun laws?
I'm appointed by the president and confirmed by
You
the
haven't
Senate.
been elected by anyone, is that right?
I do not stand. I'm not a politician.
Is your priority as ATF director to catch criminals who violate the law or to change the laws to create new criminals?
We use the laws as Congress has passed them to try to protect people from violent crime and catch people who are violating the law, murderers.
How is your regulatory agenda accomplishing that goal?
When Congress passes a law that Congress determines advances public safety, it has to be enforced by somebody. Law enforcement officials like myself and the brave men and women who work for me do that.
Congress didn't pass a law banning bump stocks, did it? Just answer my question, yes or no.
Congress passed.
Did Congress pass a law banning bump stocks?
Congress
Yes or no?
delegated to ATF rulemaking authority.
Congress
is
actually,
passed.
the courts held you don't have rulemaking authority. That was the Fifth
Ladies and
Circuit
gentlemen.
decision. Who elected you to expand and rewrite the scope of federal gun laws?
I'm appointed by the president and confirmed by
You
the
haven't been
Senate.
elected by anyone, is that right?
I do not stand. I'm not a politician.
Is your priority as ATF director to catch criminals who violate the law or to change the laws to create new criminals?
We use the laws as Congress has passed them to try to protect people from violent crime and catch people who are violating the law, murderers.
How is your
people who are
regulatory agenda accomplishing that goal?
When Congress passes a law that Congress determines advances public safety, it has to be enforced by somebody. Law enforcement officials like myself and the brave men and women who work for me do that.
Congress didn't pass a law banning bump stocks, did it? Just answer my question, yes or no. Did Congress pass a law banning bump stocks?
Congress
yes or
delegated to ATF rulemaking authority.
Congress actually, the court told you don't have rulemaking authority. That was the Fifth Circuit decision. Who elected you to expand and rewrite the scope of federal gun laws?
I'm appointed by the president and confirmed by
You
the
haven't
Senate.
been elected by anyone, is that right?
I do not stand. I'm not a politician.
Is your priority as ATF director to catch criminals who violate the law or to change the laws to create new criminals?
We use the laws as Congress has passed them.
But what brings you back to work? Well, I came back because I ran out of money for real. I'm trying to get a cold air intake for my tempo.
Cold air intake on a Ford Tempo?
Shit, cold air intake, give it 32 more horsepower for real. It sounds kind of like turbo. It'd be like a fake turbo on the Tempo.
You understand the Tempo's a piece...
It's a what, Curl? It's a piece of what, Curl?
Travis, how much are you going to do to the Tempo?
Exactly. Shut the hell up about the damn Tempo. The Tempo, it's a classic automobile. They don't even make them shits no more because it's a classic. You understand that, Curl? 1989, I can get the antique tag on that summit. What you got? What you got? A Ford Ranger? Shut the hell up, Curl. You look like you drive a Ford Ranger.
All right. So after you get the cold air intake, you quitting again, or you'll stick around?
Do your shit and leave me alone. Down.
Well, welcome back, Travis.
But what brings you back to work? Well, I came back because I ran out of money for real. I'm trying to get a cold air intake for my Tempo.
Cold air intake on a Ford Tempo?
Shit, cold air intake, give it 32 more horsepower for real. It sounds kind of like turbo. It'd be like a fake turbo on the Tempo.
You understand the Tempo's a piece...
It's a what, Curl? It's a piece of what, Curl?
Travis, how much are you going to do to the Tempo?
Exactly. Shut the hell up about the damn Tempo.
There's now a connection between quantum computing and black holes. Yeah.
What's that connection?
It's a weird one. So
It's all weird.
well, this is like weird squared or something. But work over the last 20 years has established that when you have a black hole, actually even more general systems, but talk about a black hole, there's an alternate description of a black hole in terms of what's known as the holographic description. It's as if there's a two-dimensional world that surrounds any given three-dimensional world that has exactly the same physics as the three-dimensional world that we're familiar with, and yet it describes it in a completely different language. So a black hole gravity is obviously essential. That's how a black hole forms. But in the dictionary that physicists have developed, there's a description of a black hole that doesn't involve gravity, only involves quantum mechanics. And the beautiful thing is the quantum processes in that quantum world mimic the kinds of processes that people have been developing for quantum computing, quantum error correction code. There's now a connection between quantum computing and black holes. Yeah.
What's that connection?
It's a weird one. So
It's all weird.
well, this is like weird squared or something. But work over the last 20 years has established that when you have a black hole, actually even more general systems, but talk about a black hole, there's an alternate description of a black hole in terms of what's known as the holographic description. It's as if there's a two-dimensional world that surrounds any given three-dimensional world that has exactly the same physics as the three-dimensional world that we're familiar with, and yet it describes it in a completely different language. So a black hole gravity is obviously essential. That's how a black hole forms. But in this dictionary that physicists have developed, there's a description of a black hole that doesn't involve gravity, only involves quantum mechanics. And the beautiful thing is the quantum processes in that quantum world mimic the kinds of processes that people have been developing for quantum computing, quantum error correction code. There's
A lot of people hate cops. I'm about to show y'all why.
Why are you speeding? I was only going 60.
Speed limit's 40.
50.
Sign.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Favor. Oh, give me the weed, too.
No, I have a.
Yeah,
I have a marijuana card.
Step out.
I have a card.
Step out.
All right. Stop, man.
Got his hand up. It's good. Dude, it's unopened.
The blue car. Yeah, which one?
Was tailing me. He decides to pass me and flip me off. All right? Who the f*** do you think you are? God help you if there's anything illegal in this car. Is it in the original dispensary container? And you're f***ed. How's that sound? No shit.
Mind your own f***ing business next time. He said he's got a card for his weed, and the cop asked him, is it in the original dispensary container? And he said, no. He said, well, you're well, at least he didn't give you a ticket or anything. Yeah, he's a good police officer. He didn't write your ticket, it's just a warning. A lot of people hate cops. I'm about to show y'all why. Why are you speeding? I was only going 60. Speed limit's 40. Okay, sign. Okay. Bye-bye. All right. Oh, give me the weed, too. No, I have a... Yeah, I have a marijuana card. Step out. I have a card. Step out. All right. Stop, man. That is random. It's good. This dude is unarmed. The blue car... Yeah, which one? Was tailing me. He decides to pass me and flip me off. All right? Who the f*** do you think you are? God help you if there's anything illegal in this car. Is it in the original dispensary container? Then you're f***ed. How's that sound? No shit. Mind your own f***ing business next time. He said he's got a card for his weed, and the cop asked him, is it in the original dispensary container? And he said, no. He said, well, you're f***ed. Well,
hack, if you don't know a sector and you want to buy in that, is called Reddit. I fucking love Reddit. Now, Reddit is amazing because look at this. Electricians of Reddit, I think is like 120,000 electricians on there. Say you want to buy an electrical company and you don't know if it's a good deal or not. Do you think you could maybe go to Reddit and type in some of the specifics on the company and get an answer for free 99? The answer is yes. The goal with all of this is we want to go to the experts and steal their 10,000 hours. And that is what I am teaching you guys how to do. Little hack, if you don't know a sector and you want to buy in that, is called Reddit. I fucking love Reddit. Now, Reddit is amazing because look at this. Electricians of Reddit, I think is like 120,000 electricians on there. Say you want to buy an electrical company and you don't know if it's a good deal or not. Do you think you could maybe go to Reddit and type in some of the specifics on the company and get an answer for free 99? The answer is yes. The goal with all of this is we want to go to the experts and steal their 10,000 hours. And that is what I am teaching you guys how to do. Little hack, if you don't know a sector.
This is the problem with being American, and the Canadians don't have. Canada is not the most powerful country in the world, so Canadians feel an obligation to know what is going on in the rest of the world. Yeah. But America has been the most powerful country in the world since 1918, so that's over 100 years, and Americans are just trained not to care. And they should care because we're no longer the most powerful country in the world, and also because the rest of the world really matters, and it's super interesting.
The U.S. is not no more?
No.
What, is China?
Look, the whole point of American foreign policy for like 100 years was don't let the other great powers align against us. In other words, you're in a bar, you hit on some guy's girlfriend, I'm going to punch you out. You're thinking, can I beat this guy? Yeah, probably. But if like two of his friends of equal size show up, you're not going to win. So the point of American foreign policy and diplomacy was to prevent that from happening. So you have this big power, Russia, which is the world's largest landmass, the world's largest reserve of energy, natural gas, and the world's largest nuclear arsenal. And then you have this other country, China, which is the world's largest population, 1.3 billion, the world's largest economy. And each one of those is potentially pretty formidable. But if they get together, no, you're no longer the most powerful. This is the problem with being American, and the Canadians don't have. Canada is not the most powerful country in the world, so Canadians feel an obligation to know what is going on in the rest of the world. Yeah. But America has been the most powerful country in the world since 1918, so that's over 100 years, and Americans are just trained not to care. And they should care because we're no longer the most powerful country in the world, and also because the rest of the world really matters, and it's super interesting.
The U.S. is not no more?
No.
What, is China?
Look, the whole point of American foreign policy for like 100 years was don't let the other great powers align against us. In other words, you're in a bar.
I was at 298 when I started noon. Oof, boy, I thought it was something I was never going to figure out until I discovered noon. The lessons resonated so deeply with me because I was just like, oh my God, that's me.
Noom uses psychology to help you make sustainable changes so you can lose the weight and keep it off.
Noom actually said, Jason, you can do this. It really actually did change my life.
Take the quiz today.
I was at 298 when I started noon. Oof, boy, I thought it was something I was never going to figure until I discovered noon. The lessons resonated so deeply with me because I was just like, oh my God, that's me.
Noom uses psychology to help you make sustainable changes so you can lose the weight and keep it off.
Noom actually said, Jason, you can do this. It really actually did change my life.
Take the quiz today.
I was at 298 when I started noon. Oof, boy, I thought it was something I was never going to figure out until I discovered noon. the lessons resonated so deeply with me because
There's this story that you will hear that Einstein couldn't quite cope with quantum mechanics, right? So by the time quantum mechanics is put into its final form, it's around 1927. There's this image of Einstein as an old man who can't quite keep up with the times. Now, he was like 48 years old. so I don't want to be told that he's an old man at the time, but also that image is wrong because Einstein understood quantum mechanics better than anybody, including the people who are given credit for inventing it. The difference is that he just wasn't willing to accept that it was done. You know, he wrote a famous paper, "Can the quantum mechanical description of reality be considered complete?" He thought there was more to the story and we should keep looking. And I think he was right about that. I think that the stories that we were telling ourselves in the 1920s are woefully incomplete. The story that you will hear that Einstein couldn't quite cope with quantum mechanics, right? So by the time quantum mechanics is put into its final form, it's around 1927. There's this image of Einstein as an old man who can't quite keep up with the times. Now, he was like 48 years old. so I don't want to be told that he's an old man at the time, but also that image is wrong because Einstein understood quantum mechanics better than anybody, including the people who are given credit for inventing it. The difference is that he just wasn't willing to accept that it was done. You know, he wrote a famous paper, "Can the quantum mechanical description of reality be considered complete?" He thought there was more to the story and we should keep looking. And I think he was right about that. I think that the stories that we were telling ourselves in the 1920s are woefully incomplete. The story that you will hear that
They actually believe Marxism makes sense because they don't know what they're talking about. You see these videos of young people saying the stupidest things you've ever heard, and you're like, man, Greta Thunberg, I mean, she's not American, but she's outright saying, kill 60 million people overnight when she says, we must end fossil fuels now, we're not going to wait. It's like, okay, yeah, if you ended fossil fuels right now, like New York just banned natural gas, these people, their brains are broken. They're completely broken.
Yuri Bezmenov talks a lot about this.
They've been wrapped up on this social media algorithmic garbage that tells them whatever the algorithm promotes, that's what you must adhere to. So these young people see climate change as bad. Then you end up with politicians saying, tell me what to do so you'll vote for me. And they say, ban natural gas. And he goes, okay, no more gas stoves. Are you kidding? Natural gas is a large component of how we generate electricity. How about we do nuclear power? No, these people are too moronic because of what they read on the internet to know nuclear power is clean and actually the best way to generate electricity. They actually believe Marxism makes sense.
This is what happens when you have a quantity of something, and then you add more to it. This is dilution. The principle is so simple that a child can understand. And you can create this little science project at home. Sorry, you can have your tea back. But the principle is called dilution. And when you print $5 trillion and you put it into the economy, you have diluted the value of the money. So for instance, if you had a minimum wage at some amount, and somebody was making minimum wage and they were still making minimum wage after this money was printed, they actually are making considerably less in terms of real dollars. It's dilution. $5 trillion that we printed, I would argue, is the primary source of inflation.
How do you explain the global?
Yes, I'm glad you asked me that. Same thing in Europe. They did this everywhere. This is what happens when you have a quantity of something and you add more to it. This is dilution. The principle is so simple that a child can understand. And you can create this little science project at home. Sorry, you can have your tea back. But the principle is called dilution. And when you print $5 trillion and you put it into the economy, you have diluted the value of the money. So for instance, if you had a minimum wage at some amount, and somebody was making minimum wage and they were still making minimum wage after this money was printed, they actually are making considerably less in terms of real dollars. It's dilution. $5 trillion that we printed, I would argue, is the primary source of inflation.
How do you explain the global?
Yes, I'm glad you asked me that. Same thing in Europe. They did this everywhere. This is what happens when you have a quantity of something and then you add more to it. This is dilution. The principle is so simple that a child can understand. And you can create this little science project at home. Sorry, you can have your tea back. But the principle is called dilution. And when you print $5 trillion and you put it into the economy,
Jewish fella and an Asian fella are sitting at a bar having a beer. And the Jewish fella walks up and he punches the Asian in the face. He falls on the ground. And the Asian says, "What's this? What is that for?" He says, "That's for Pearl Harbor." He says, "I'm Chinese. That was Japanese." He says, "Chinese, Japanese, same difference." And he goes back to his bar stool and continues drinking. Well, a few minutes later, after the fella, the Chineseman, regains his composure, he walks up to the Jew and he punches him in the face. And the Jew falls on the ground. The Jew says, "What was that for?" He says, "The Titanic." "The Titanic? There was an iceberg." He says, "Iceberg, Steinberg, Spielberg, it's all the same."
I never heard that.
This Jewish fella and an Asian fella are sitting at a bar having a beer. And the Jewish fella walks up and he punches the Asian in the face. He falls on the ground. And the Asian says, "What's this? What is that for?" He says, "That's for Pearl Harbor." He says, "I'm Chinese. That was Japanese." He says, "Chinese, Japanese, same difference." And he goes back to his bar stool and continues drinking. Well, a few minutes later, after the fella, the Chineseman, regains his composure, he walks up to the Jew and he punches him in the face. And the Jew falls on the ground. The Jew says, "What was that for?" He says, "The Titanic." "The Titanic? There was an iceberg." He says, "Iceberg, Steinberg, Spielberg, it's all the same."
I never heard that.
This Jewish fella and an Asian fella are sitting at a bar.
You people do not sleep correctly and allow your sleep to be disturbed by the mental movies of dreams. You subconsciously worry about unpaid bills and troubles. You people do not sleep correctly and allow your sleep to be disturbed by the mental movies of dreams. You subconsciously worry about unpaid bills and troubles. You people do not sleep correctly and allow your sleep to be disturbed by the mental movies of dreams. You subconsciously worry about unpaid bills and troubles. You people do not sleep correctly and allow your sleep to be disturbed by the mental movies of dreams. You subconsciously worry about unpaid bills and troubles. You people do not sleep correctly and allow your sleep to be disturbed by the mental movies of dreams. You subconsciously worry about unpaid bills and troubles. You people do not sleep correctly and allow your sleep to be disturbed by the mental movies of dreams. You subconsciously worry about unpaid bills and troubles. You people do not sleep correctly and allow your sleep to be disturbed by the mental movies of dreams. You subconsciously worry about unpaid bills and troubles. You people do not sleep correctly and allow your sleep to be disturbed by the mental movies of dreams. You subconsciously worry about unpaid bills and troubles.
Should men get involved in household chores? I'm going to start off with Brother Mahdi, inshallah. So you have 1.5 minutes. 1 second. So you are totally against it.
We live in a time in the West where the average household requires 2 incomes. Although we would love for the man to be the sole breadwinner and for the woman to be at home and so on, the reality is, especially in this hyperinflationary environment that we live in here in the West, that most people need 2 incomes to run the house. So at a minimum, the guy's going to be working full-time, maybe a bit extra, and his wife's going to be working part-time or doing something. If she is contributing meaningfully towards the household expenditures, then it's not unreasonable for her to expect her husband to involve himself in some type of chores.
Should men get involved in household chores? I'm going to start off with Brother Mahdi, inshallah. So you have 1.5 minutes. 1 second. So you are totally against it.
We live in a time in the West where the average household requires 2 incomes. Although we would love for the man to be the sole breadwinner and for the woman to be at home and so on, the reality is, especially in this hyperinflationary environment that we live in here in the West, that most people need 2 incomes to run the house. So at a minimum, the guy's going to be working full-time, maybe a bit extra, and his wife's going to be working part-time or doing something. If she is contributing meaningfully towards the household expenditures, then it's not unreasonable for her to expect her husband to involve himself in some type of chores.
Should men get involved in household chores? I'm going to start off with Brother Mahdi, inshallah. So you have 1.5 minutes. 1 second. So you are totally against it.
We live in a time in the West where the average household requires 2 incomes. Although we would love for the man to be the sole breadwinner and for the woman to be at home and so on, the reality is, especially in this hyperinflationary environment that we live in here in the West, that most people need 2 incomes to run the house. So at a minimum, the guy's going to be working full-time, maybe a bit extra, and his wife's going to be working part-time or doing something. If she is contributing meaningfully towards the household expenditures, then it's not unreasonable for her to expect her husband to involve himself in some type of chores.
Should men get involved?
Latest legislation that's just been submitted in Minnesota, where they're trying to chip out language with respect to pedophilia. We're coming up on a society where I think that some people don't understand that simply because you put it in code doesn't mean you've changed the moral premise. Does anybody honestly imagine that if I, as a father, caught someone sexually abusing my child, because that's what it is, it's abuse, that they could look at me and say, but it's legal, and that would have any effect on what I did next? The latest legislation that's just been submitted in Minnesota, where they're trying to chip out language with respect to pedophilia. We're coming up on a society where I think that some people don't understand that simply because you put it in code doesn't mean you've changed the moral premise. Does anybody honestly imagine if I, as a father, caught someone sexually abusing my child, because that's what it is, it's abuse, that they could look at me and say, but it's legal, and that would have any effect on what I did next?
You, your baby, and your entire townspeople, your greater family, right, your clan, are being chased by a band of bad men. They will kill you if they find you. You don't have any weapons, you don't have any way to defend yourself, even though you are Cobra Tate. You decide to hide in a secret place and are silently waiting for the bad guys to move away. However, you know that your baby will cough and the band will hear it, or the baby will shit or cry. You have 2 choices: kill your baby and save yourself and the entire town, or let your baby cough and risk, These
scenarios you're describing, I live ready for them.
Okay.
Like here, okay, bro, it's 11 p.m. for me.
Right.
I just had dinner. I just drove home. My house has armed security. I have about 6 armed men outside. I'm on a Twitch stream by myself.
Right. Strap.
Like, I stay ready. Like,
your baby and your entire town's.
I'm the liberal in this debate. Okay, I'm for free speech. To be a liberal, you have to stand up for liberal principles. It's not my fault that the part of the world that is most against liberal principles is the Muslim part of the world. There have been studies. We have facts on this. Treatment of women. They studied 130 different countries. 17 of the bottom 20 were Muslim countries. In 10 Muslim countries, you can get the death penalty just for being gay. They chop heads off in the square in Mecca. Well, Mecca is their Vatican City. If they were chopping the heads off of Catholic gay people, wouldn't there be a bigger outcry among liberals? I ask you, I'm the liberal in this debate. Okay, I'm for free speech.
I'm talking about 16-year-old me that got pregnant by my boyfriend and had an abortion because that was the best option for me at the time. What the fuck was I gonna do with baby?
Well, you would have probably needed some help and love. And
I think for a mother, it's not a hard fucking choice. You think?
no, I think it's really hard.
No.
I think what you did at that point in time in your life has actually affected you from that moment all the way till now. I think you're carrying it right now while we're talking. And I'm thinking this is a sin. It's very real. I'm being very honest. But I think it's a thing that's rather than to say it's good, it's to say it's a sin and that you set it before Christ instead of saying, I'm okay.
Think of Joe Parr's experiments, who was an electrical engineer who developed the gamma ray transducer. So this guy was one of only a couple people to be able to spend a couple nights on top of the Giza pyramid, where he was taking measurements and trying to understand. He was very obsessed with pyramids, brilliant guy, inventor. So what he did ultimately, and he did this for years, this experiment where he got a centrifuge and he lined the inside of the centrifuge with neodymium magnets, and then he had a pyramid in the middle, and he would spin this centrifuge and he would take measurements. So what he found in the experiment was that when you have this pyramid spinning within an electromagnetic field, a varying electromagnetic field, it creates an orb around it, a bubble. That is a measurable bubble. And inside of the pyramid are what he called mass particles, right? So a bunch of times, at specific times of the year, he claimed that the pyramid would literally lose all its weight, become not affected by gravity, and then it would think of Joe Parr's experiments, who was
most of the British people, 67% in fact, think he's doing a terrible job as president.
Actually, do you know how many illegal immigrants Barack Obama deported in 8 years?
And lots of people I know, both in the States and
Do you know the number?
protested. It was a huge amount of number.
Do you know how many?
Would you like to tell me, Piers?
No, I'm asking you. You know every stat about Trump, but do you know actually how many illegal immigrants Barack Obama deported in his 8 years as president?
There was a huge expansion of immigration, detention and removal under Obama.
Have a guess.
I don't know the number, Piers. Would you like to tell me?
Give me a number.
I don't know it.
Any number.
Piers, I don't know it.
1, 10, give me a number.
I told you it was probably thousands. It was a huge expansion.
How many thousands do you think? I'm serious. It's a serious question. I would
Tell
like
me
you
the
to have a guess.
What's the value of making stuff up on air? I know that you're comfortable with
you go on and on about Trump, but here's my point to you. You are running a Stop Trump campaign, but you have absolutely no idea how many illegal...
Most of the British people, 67% in fact, think he's doing a terrible job.
It's one of the most profitable beverage companies in the world. It's one of the most profitable beverage companies in the world with the top selling beer. But all we need is a couple double-digit percentage point drop to where Anheuser-Busch says clearly the story won't go away. And
how and where should we dispose of the incredibly acidic, sometimes radioactive batteries that electric vehicles use? Where should we dispose of them?
But that argument, you see, it's a straw man because you're
Answer the question.
No, I am answering a question.
You can't answer the question because deep down you know that cobalt-powered batteries are worse for the environment than liquid and natural gas and nuclear power. So you come up on here to try to virtue signal, I love the environment, but as soon as you ask me about the incredibly environmentally inefficient, destructive, animal-killing, acidic-producing batteries, you're a strong man. You're out of time. Thanks for being here tonight. Next question. How and where should we dispose of the incredibly acidic, sometimes radioactive batteries that electric vehicles use? Where should we dispose of them?
But that argument, you see, it's a straw man because you're
Answer the question.
No, I am answering a question.
You can't answer the question because deep down you know that cobalt-powered batteries are worse for the environment than liquid and natural gas and nuclear power. So you come up on here to try to virtue signal, I love the environment, but as soon as you ask me about the incredibly environmentally inefficient, destructive, animal-killing, acidic-producing batteries, you're a strong man. You're out of time. Thanks for being here tonight. Next question. How and where should we dispose of the incredibly acidic, sometimes radioactive batteries that electric vehicles use? Where should we dispose of them?
But that argument, you see, it's a straw man because you're
Answer the question.
No, I am answering a question.
You can't answer the question because deep down you know that cobalt-powered batteries are worse for the environment than liquid and natural gas and nuclear power. So you come up on here to try to virtue signal, I love the environment, but as soon as you ask me about the incredibly environmentally inefficient, destructive, animal-killing, acidic-producing battery.
Have you ever heard Jordan Peterson talk about that study of starving rats in a tube with a spring attached to them? No. Fucking brilliant. This is what you're talking about. So, starving rats are placed into a tube. Yeah. And they have a spring that is attached to the tail that can measure the force that they pull at, and that's a proxy for desire. Then they waft the smell of cheese in from the front of the tube, and the rat pulls, and they measure how hard they want to go. And you think these rats are starving, they would be pulling pretty hard. Then they do another iteration of the study. This time they waft the smell of cheese in from the front, but they waft the smell of a cat in from behind. And the rats pull harder. Yeah. And what's the lesson? That you not only need to run towards something that you want, but you need to run away from something that you fear. Have you ever heard Jordan Peterson talk about that study of starving rats in a tube with a spring attached to them? No. Fucking brilliant. This is what you're talking about. So, starving rats are placed into a tube. Yeah. And they have a spring that is attached to the tail that can measure the force that they pull at, and that's a proxy for desire. Then they waft the smell of cheese in from the front of the tube, and the rat pulls, and they measure how hard they want to go. And you think these rats are starving, they would be pulling pretty hard. Then they do another iteration of the study. This time they waft the smell of cheese in from the front, but they waft the smell of a cat in from behind. And the rats pull harder. Yeah. And what's the lesson? You not only need to run towards something that you want, but you need to run away from something that you fear. Have you ever heard Jordan Peterson talk about that study of starving rats in a tube with a spring attached to them? No. Fucking brilliant. This is what you're talking about. So, starving rats are placed into a tube. Yeah. And they have a spring that is attached to the tail that can measure the force that they pull at, and that's a proxy for desire. Then they waft the smell of cheese in from the front of the tube, and the rat pulls, and they measure how hard they want to go. And you think these rats are starving, they would be pulling pretty hard. Then they do another iteration of the study. This time they waft the smell of cheese in from the front, but they waft the smell of a cat in from behind. And the rats pull harder. Yeah. And what's the lesson? That you not only need to run towards something that you want, but you need to run away from something that you fear. Have you ever heard Jordan Peterson talk about that study of starving rats in a tube with a spring attached to them? No. Oh, fucking brilliant. This is what you're talking about. So, starving rats are placed into a tube. Yeah. And they have a spring that is attached to the tail that can measure the force that they pull at, and that's a proxy for desire. Then they waft the smell of cheese in from the front of the tube, and the rat pulls, and they measure how hard they want to go. And you think these rats are starving, they would be pulling pretty hard. Then they do another iteration of the study. This time they waft the smell of cheese in from the front, but they waft the smell of a cat in from behind. And the rats pull harder. Yeah. And what's the lesson? That you not only need to run towards something that you want, but you need to run away from something that you fear. Have you ever heard...
How did you live on $50 a day? Believe it or not, this was such a convenient thing for me, and this is why I needed the job so bad. Right next door to Sharky's Pizza, Sharky's Bar is a pizza place that's just recently closed down called Zeppi's Pizza. They had a gig where it was a deep dish pizza served on a nice silver tray. If you ate the whole pizza, you get the pizza for free, and they'd put your name on the wall. So I found this out, get my $50 cash, but I don't want to spend it on food, so I go over and crush a pizza. I was like, wow, that's crazy. Went back the next night, did it again. The guy's like, wow, that's crazy. Went back the next night, did it again. The guy was running out of pizza trays. He's like, dude, if you want a free slice, just eat the whole thing. How did you live on $50 a day? Believe it or not, this was such a convenient thing for me, and this is why I needed the job so bad. Right next door to Sharky's Pizza, Sharky's Bar is a pizza place that's just recently closed down called Zeppi's Pizza. They had a gig where it was a deep dish pizza served on a nice silver tray. If you ate the whole pizza, you get the pizza for free, and they'd put your name on the wall. So I found this out, get my $50 cash, but I don't want to spend it on food, so I go over and crush a pizza. I was like, wow, that's crazy. Went back the next night, did it again. The guy's like, wow, that's crazy. Went back the next night, did it again. The guy was running out of pizza trays. He's like, dude, if you want a free slice, just eat the whole thing. How did you live on $50 a day? Believe it or not, this was such a convenient thing for me, and this is why I needed the job so bad. Right next door to Sharky's Pizza, Sharky's Bar is a pizza place that's just recently closed down called Zeppi's Pizza. They had a gig where it was a deep dish pizza served on a nice silver tray. If you ate the whole pizza, you get the pizza for free, and they'd put your name on the wall. So I found this out, get my $50 cash, but I don't want to spend it on food, so I go over and crush a pizza. I said, wow, that's crazy. Went back the next night, did it again. The guy's like, wow, that's crazy. Went back the next night, did it again. The guy was running out of pizza trays. He's like, dude, if you want a free slice, just
How do you? But Twitter is not doing bad, right? I mean, I saw today that Tucker Carlson recently fired. You were just on his show and he lost his job, so I hope to know.
But hopefully,
Angel of Jeff.
no, exactly. I'm not the typhoid Mary of talk shows. For some reason, people just get fired at.
His rant yesterday or today on Twitter
yesterday
or did more than every cable news monologue. Something like that. Is that right?
Well, Twitter has audience. So there's 250 million people that spend an average of half an hour a day on Twitter. So it's about 130 million user hours a day, and it's been increasing. So we didn't do anything to be clear. We did nothing special whatsoever. I learned about it afterwards that you posted something on Twitter.
But Twitter is not doing bad, right? I mean, I saw today that Tucker Carlson.
I'm a freestyle gangster rapper. Don't know why you love it. Get me out there. Get me out this one. Get me out this one. Gangster rapper. Yeah, I do a lot of gangster rap solo without the instrumentation, but I'm here today to showcase the.
Let's just get into it.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, you're chatting best though.
It's MC Hammersmith. Yo, let's 2-pack. More 2-packs of hummus. Okay, here we go. My rapping is the military. I'm actually a visionary. I come hard with words like I'm on a dictionary.
That's hard. That's a bar.
I got more. Wait, I got more. I'm a one-man gang, flabbergasted rap slang. Disagree, then you're a fat wang. Flashbang, hear the gat rang. Yeah, I've got a gun, I swear. I'll put clips to your head like I'm styling your hair.
Why is that pretty decent?
Well, thank you much. You motherfuckers are about to get beaten. I'll score you so hard. I'm a freestyle gangster rapper. Don't know why you love it. Get me out there. Get me out this one. Get me out this one. Gangster rapper. Yeah, I do a lot of gangster rap solo without the instrumentation, but I'm here today to showcase the.
Let's just get into it. Let's hear it. Yeah, you're chatting best though.
It's MC Hammersmith. Yo, let's 2-pack. More 2-packs of hummus. Okay, here we go. My rapping is the military. I'm actually a visionary. I come hard with words like I'm on a dictionary.
That's hard. That's a bar.
I got more. Wait, I got more. I'm a one-man gang, flabbergasted rap slang. Disagree, then you're a fat wang. Flashbang, hear the gat rang. Yeah, I've got a gun, I swear. I'll put clips to your head like I'm styling your hair.
Why is that pretty decent?
Well, thank you much. You motherfuckers are about to get beaten. I'll score you so hard. I'm a freestyle gangster rapper. Don't know why you love it. Get me out there. Get me out this one. Get me out this one. Gangster rapper. Yeah, I do a lot of gangster rap solo without the instrumentation, but I'm here today to showcase the.
Let's just get into it.
I don't want that shit
you're
around
chatting
me.
best though.
It's MC Hammersmith. Yo, let's 2-pack. More 2-packs of hummus. Okay, here we go. My rapping is the military. I'm actually a visionary. I come hard with words like I'm on a dictionary.
Hello.
Hello, my friend.
What's going on? You back in the country or you still over there?
Oh, no. Thank God. I'm back. I'm a boogie down, bro.
Hey, did y'all sing the song? The wheels on the bus go round and round.
No, we did not.
No, you did not. Damn, I like that little song.
Did not.
And the when she goes swish, 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 swish. Yeah, dude.
Nope.
I learned all that shit with my little boy, man.
Of course.
With the Mr.
Yeah, they were in kindergarten, maybe, but they 5th graders. They'd be like, Miss, please.
No,
That's
man.
for babies, Miss.
That's for that's not for a baby. That's for when you're on the bus and the wheels are going
Yeah,
around.
Of course.
Yeah.
Right, but you know how kids are. They want to be all grown.
Like, please, with that kindergarten song.
Trust me, I got a 13, but she just barely made 14. Think she's a fucking 30-year-old. I don't know what's wrong with these little chihuahuas. She worse than the dog.
Yeah, they all want to be older, and they do not want to be embarrassed by no baby stuff.
But I remember when I wanted to be 21, but I got over that quickly.
Yeah, because you became 21.
Kinda.
Right? Like, there's no way. Like, when you're a kid, especially as a kid, which is why when people say, "Oh, wouldn't you love to be young again?" I'm like, "Fuck you."
No, dude, I don't want to grow a
You mean when I had to
mustache
listen to
again?
directions and do what I was told and I didn't have any control over anything? No, I don't want to go back to that. Thank you. I'm good. I like my life.
No, I wouldn't
That's
do it.
all that was. My parents were very strict. I didn't get to do very much. So, yeah, I want to go back to that. No, I'm good. Thank you.
No, I wouldn't rewind no clocks. No time.
Hell no.
Yeah, I wouldn't rewind no clocks. None.
None. Me neither.
Yeah, I whoop your ass. You can't fucking with my clock. Leave my clock alone, bro. I'm almost there.
Right.
I'm almost there. I'm not that far away.
I feel the same way.
No, I just let somebody else take their turn. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah. Besides, it takes a lot to get through life. I'm going to start over? No, thanks. I'd really rather not.
Not right now. It'll be I wouldn't. No. To do it all over again.
Clocks, you'd be born today. Would you want to be born today? Hell no.
No, shitting on yourself.
This world is crazy.
I'm not gonna want to go through that again. But you wouldn't know that you're shitting on yourself.
You wouldn't be aware of it though.
Right. That's why I corrected it. Damn it, give me some time. I'm slow.
I'm sorry.
I'm slow. I tried to correct it, but you was already on me. Like, damn, bro. So yeah, I guess if you don't know nothing, you wouldn't know nothing. So we wouldn't even know. We done did that already once or twice or three
I
times.
guess that's why they say ignorance is bliss. And if you don't know, you can't be upset about it.
True that.
And really, ignorance is bliss. Sometimes I wish I was a little more ignorant. I mean, I'm ignorant of some stuff, but yeah. I wish I was a little more ignorant. I know a little too much. I don't really need to know all this. It's depressing as fuck.
I wouldn't want to do it over again.
Hell no.
But we don't know if we already been doing this shit over and over and over and over.
Right. That might be happening sooner than I think. I'm going to start this life again? No, I'm good. Let's go on to the next one.
We don't know if we've been... What the hell happened there?
What happened?
Error, establishing database connection. What the fuck in the fuck?
What is that?
Well, this is my database one. Cuckoo.
Cuckoo.
Yeah, that bitch just took a break. There we go. Damn it.
Is it back?
Yeah, that shit does. All servers do that. It's like when you're
They
streaming.
get a little funky sometimes.
No, it's like when you're streaming.
Mm-hmm.
When you're streaming, that shit happens. Your shit cut out. The television, see.
Glitches?
No, like your shit will cut out. Off.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you don't ever see people streaming and then sometimes you see that shit just turn off. I don't know if you watch ever.
Yep.
Like live streaming.
Yeah.
Or when you talking, sometimes on the phone, and we go through that shit on the phone when you're on the train.
Like what?
Yeah, and when you think of radio stations and television stations, why they don't go off? And they get to stay 24 hours. Even the TV, sometimes you see that shit go bad on a commercial.
Right.
They'll give you the commercial 2 or 3 times because this shit done went boop, 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 boop.
Right.
Yeah, it took a minute. Yeah, it did a hiccup. But them guys, they don't usually see. Just like when you run a website, you have to have 2 of them running at the same time. Them guys understand that too.
So they have multiple things happening at the same time?
They got multiple. Yeah, you know, TV have multiple cameras. They don't got a camera. They got cameras.
Right. They have angles.
Right. So in case that's not even for the angles. That was first to have the backups. And then, well, now you learn how to turn one off and turn one on.
Right.
But there used to be backup. You had an extra
camera. Like in a newscast where they look in one direction and a different direction.
Yeah, they do all that now. But before you set your happy ass down and you didn't move barely.
And you face forward.
Yeah. And if you stand on the stage, they'll give you the fucking the two shoes on the floor. You know what that means? Stand your ass there. Put your feet on it. Yeah, put your feet on it, and that's where you stay. You most stages don't got you don't got much space to be playing around on. Yeah, even Steve Harvey shit got shoes on it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny. They got to Steve Harvey. What you saying?
No, for the people.
Oh, for the people. I was like, damn, you still got a time like that?
And you know they still get it wrong. So no, today, I don't know. I guess Roku got easier. I don't know if I've been learning stuff. It's been a while since I've been in Roku. So I want to make me 4 channels just now. And that's what I did today. I need to start. Yeah.
Look at you.
Let's see if we can make the same amount out of all of them.
Wow.
Because I had to go back and play with it, and it's become easier. A lot easier.
That's awesome. Do you have plans for more?
Well, I put up the Nieta stuff. I put up a Neo Horengekyo. I did a Norman one. I already had Soul Flow. I went back to edit that. Then I got to figure out what I'm going to do with the CBD one to turn up. But I already figured out what to grab my YouTube videos. I just put two or three videos in there. And they changed it. They changed. One of them had the thing messed up because they changed the size of the pictures.
Right.
Yeah, you have to put the
So
exact.
it changed the appearance on the screen?
No, it fucks your shit up.
So it doesn't work correctly?
It doesn't work, period. So you have to go and put the pictures back in. That's what I'm about to finish right now. Because the pictures used to be 850, 650, and now they changed it to 800, 450. You know, pixels.
Right.
So now I have to make them exactly 450 by 800.
Wow.
But I'm
Are you going to make any more channels?
Yeah, I've been playing around with my shit. I thought about doing, you know,
And making channels like that is free, like it doesn't require any investment at all?
Huh? No.
Making a channel
yes,
is free?
I would say yes, and then I would say no. I would say yes, it requires time to know that's even there. You got to first find it. And when you find it, well, you got to do your research. How do I do this? And if you find the right pages, well, you might be on your way. If you don't find the right pages, you're going to go through hell. Because to put up a channel in Roku, there's 3 different ways. I've learned of 3 different ways. Now,
so you know, okay.
Yeah, you could go with a JSON feed, and that's just a feed. If you know how to write the feed, well, you're good to go. You go write up your feed. You still need a server, so some money has to be invested somewhere because you got to put all these videos in a place to be able to stream them.
Right.
So if you have the space, boom, like I do, but I put it up. It don't cost me shit, but I done already understood all this. So I go through the direct publishing network, which is the feed. And then I've learned how to go to Insta Channel and create a SDK, which is more, you have more control, and then like a lot more control. And then I've made it that I coded the code because I took that sample code and recoded it and put it on there. And that code, you can use the remote control for a lot of shit. You can run ads, your own ads. You don't need to run their ads.
Right.
But it was coding, and it took time. So I learned how to do that. So right now I'm just doing the JSON feed. It's free. It's a plugin. It's WordPress. I don't even have to create the feed by myself. I use a website, and then I put a plugin, and then I put up the videos, and it creates the feed for me automatically.
And you already knew how to do all this, or you just learned how to do all this?
I learned how to do this. Actually, it was in 2017. Because I was just now in there when I first made my first channel. It was 2017.
Wow.
That's 6 years ago.
And so how did you learn? You just played around with it?
No, there's a guy on Roku that has the Weed channel. He and another guy was buddies. So his buddy came to me and I was trying to sell me this shit for SoFlo for $60,000 with 12 videos, one for every month, and the channel. I told him, let me think about it. By the time he came back, I already built my channel. Yeah, I'm dead serious. And then
I believe you.
About 3 years passed, and then that shit went down. I was able to communicate with him, with the partner, the one that communicated with me in the beginning. And he asked me for a job. He confessed to me that he quit with homeboy. He was 3 years deep with him, and they never made a bread cent.
Wow.
Yeah, because that shit was always, they were always jumping around with that shit. I threw up my shit through some videos and started making money from since that day. Practically. Yeah, and it started slowly, but then it's like people forget when they put the credit card in this thing.
Right.
And if you don't go physically and cancel, it's going to keep bopping your ass till you figure it out. Yeah, till you figure it out. So a lot of the people that get their money from is that I'm sure they don't know how to turn it off, or they don't even know. Yeah, because some people buy shit. There's a lot of people, not some people. There's a lot of people that buy shit and forget that they bought shit.
Oh yeah, of course.
Like don't even.
Yeah,
remember.
every once in a while I check all my subscriptions just in case, because that can happen.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, I get people do that all the time. I've had people order from me, and sometimes I don't send out the order on time to see what's going on, testing the waters. And I'm telling you, they don't never say anything.
Wow.
I don't even close out the order. I just leave it there. It just stays there in my cart thing. I don't close out the order. And they don't never come back and say anything. If they do, I will give them the shit, but most of them don't ever come back.
Right.
They buy and walk away.
Well, it's like people who join gyms. They pay every month. They only get the first day. Those places make money off people that don't ever show up.
That don't show
like
up.
A gym is the best thing on the planet. You get people to pay monthly for something that you know that they're not going to keep up with.
Holy
especially
shit.
in January, right? It's after New Year's. Everybody has a resolution. And they know. They may show up 2-3 times. After that, you may not see them for 6 months.
So
you may never see them. And every year, you have to keep paying. You just keep paying and paying monthly.
Them bitches
That's why
go.
they don't even do
Hold on.
contracts anymore. This is better than contracts.
These guys go by the year. They don't play around no more. When you sign up, you sign up for a whole fucking year. Okay. So you don't have no way of etching out of that one.
Right. And so you're and you're guaranteed. And because people always say, I'm going to do it tomorrow, like I haven't done it, but I'm going to do it, that keeps them paying. Right? Like most other things you cancel because you be like, oh, I'm not paying for it. This is stupid. I should stop. The gym is the only place that makes you think, yeah, but I might. Nothing else does that but the gym. The gym is the only industry that makes you say, I might. I'm gonna. You know what? Next week, I'm gonna go. 3 times a week from now on. And because you're always like hoping for that, you keep paying.
Okay. I wonder why in here in Florida, you see a lot of dudes with a whole bunch of people trailing behind of them. I see, even when I go buy my weed, behind in the back, there's a dude that has a whole gym in the parking lot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you used to call me and tell me what they were doing.
Yeah, and it's like, you in a fucking parking lot, half naked, sweating.
That
like
was
a
back
bitch.
when you were staying at the airport a lot.
No, that's over there,
During the
but
day. During the day.
Florida got a lot of numbnuts like that. They're always doing gym, they're exercising. You see them on all kind of electric bikes. Like there's a grown old ass lady always riding a little fucking bike on the street. Like, get your happy ass out the way, man. You know, they're all happy or jolly. The world is brown, you know. We celebrate that shit every day. The earth is round.
Every day.
The earth is round. Bitch, we know the earth is round.
Sure.
No, so I haven't been out today. Yeah, I bought my cigarettes. I only been smoking 2 packs of cigarettes. Yay, I got the whole fucking thing.
Hey, that's humongous.
I got that thing.
You know,
I got
give
it
yourself
fixed.
some credit.
All right, so now I gotta do the CBD one. So I will steal my videos from YouTube and put them all in there. No, I had 9 errors, but I started earlier today. And I learned how to steal videos from YouTube because I didn't want to pay YouTube $11.99.
Right.
That's what you pay? Well, they were charging me that to download a fucking video from Tina Turner.
Yeah.
Because she has the 2-hour. I knew I
Yes.
the 2-hour Nam Yo Horenge Kyo thing, and she have the Daimoku and Gongyo, both of them. So I stole them. Yeah, don't tell me I can't steal something off the web. That's when you really.
It's like, don't tell me.
No, and don't give me a number talking about I'm gonna pay $11.99 to download a piece ass video. You kidding me? No, I'm gonna watch that shit for free. I'm gonna steal it for free, and I'm gonna and then I go get.
And I'm gonna own it for free.
Not only that, I go edit the motherfucker with an editor too. That's for free, because almost all the editors out there, you gotta pay them money to do all kind of shit, man. Motherfuck you, man.
Right.
I got no. I'm the cheapest motherfucker. You talk. I'm Puerto Rican, bitches. Huh? And I'm proud. I'm fucking Puerto Rican and proud. Yeah, I don't pay for shit. I pay for my server, and that's about the only thing I pay for because I gotta hide everything somewhere. So that's my storage unit. That's what my server is. You could think of it like that. It's a place where you put all your shit, everything. Your little cloud is your little iCloud that nobody can.
Your own personal cloud.
Nobody can get into that motherfucker. Just you. So I'm here debating. I'm about to upgrade my server. I got 2 25s. I paid 25 and 25. I'm about to pay 50 and drop it all in one bigger one.
Right.
I'm ready for it.
All right.
And I'm gonna pay a little bit more mind to this Roku thing that's always made me money without me ever doing anything either.
It's like a residual kind of thing, right?
It got so easy though. Before it was hard. I don't know what I've learned. I learned the PHPINI. That little fucking file is so important. Before I used to get hung up with, you know how most of these places give you this. You could only make a video for so long. Like I think YouTube, I sometimes you only could do 30-second videos or the little tiny videos all the time, and they didn't let you do more. And then the space became bigger, and then now they let you put up a video.
Hours and hours and hours and hours.
YouTube will let you burn for 24 hours, and then they shut you down. Facebook, not shut you down, they'll turn you off, and then you got to turn it back on. And Facebook only does 8 hours. So if you have your server, you should be able to run 24 hours. At least you could say 99.95% uptime.
Right.
Because that's what is your server. Until you don't burn that bitch, it's going to keep going. And then if you could create 2 platforms, you could turn one on, turn one off, turn one on, turn one off. Because they're both running the same content.
Right. And they would just be alternating.
Right. It's like when the DJ, think of it when you know what a DJ is, right? So you know a DJ is playing 2 records always at the same time. But you're only going to hear one every now and then.
Right.
You hear the 2 of them when he's blending one into the other, and one goes up and one goes down. Boom, and then he switches the music in. Well, you could do that with cameras too. Yeah, it's called OBS. And with that platform, it's like for running a television, and I've been using it on my computer. It's just that I do it all on one computer. And you shouldn't do that. It stresses the whole entire place. And then I'm doing wirelessly too. But if you have a building and the money and you buy some servers and you put a couple computers, you hook them all up into an intranet. I understand all that. I just don't have the cash flow.
Right.
Yeah, you hook it all up in the intranet, and they all connected now. Even though if you have 10, that's what happens. That's how your school is. They're on the intranet, not internet.
Right, intranet. Right.
Intranet. They all plugged in with that blue or yellow cord. And then that goes to the master brain, which is they're all a computer, but then one of them is used as the main computer.
Right.
Yeah. You call it a slave in our world, as the nerds. It's a slave.
Wow.
It's actually called a slave.
Damn.
That's funny.
It does all the work for you.
It does all the work correctly. It's the main one that divides the work throughout the other ones. It's not it's a heavy worker, but it's not really the one that does all the work. It just pushes the work to the other ones.
Right.
But it's called a slave because they don't do nothing else but that.
Right.
The other ones get to do more stuff. Yeah, they're the ones who hooked up to a database. And and then it gets to do stuff. So that's my word. I love that shit. So I fix it. I fixed all the issues. So it's back to green again. It shows me a green. That's another thing with websites. And shit. You get the color greens and red and yellows. Yellows is that you got warnings. Red is fatal error. Green is everything is good. So right now, you was asking about the channel. Well, when I first started, I needed a Roku TV too to be able to develop for it. I needed the Roku TV to see what I'm doing. Right now, I've learned that I don't need the TV because what I was just doing gave me a green light. So if I have a green light here, everything is fine over there.
Right.
Yeah. And I learned how to do it without updating the whole entire thing either. Because once you update the feed on your website, every time I put a new video, I don't have to go to Roku to put a video.
Right.
I put it in my website, enter the feed, it goes into Roku. It feeds it the information.
Automatically.
That's why it's called a feed. It feeds the information out. And people could use a feed to grab your information. So Roku uses it to grab information. And all the information that's inside of that code, it would print it out over there. So that's what I'm doing. That's basically what API does too. And feeds do that shit. And and some links. There's so many type of links. Like you got the GIF. You know what the GIF is or whatever you want to call it. Some people call it GIF, and it's not. I call it's GIF, but people say GIF because it's a G, but it's a J because it's a G. One of those English
Yeah,
things.
like giraffe.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. I didn't even know that one. Damn. They say so much shit about the letter, but giraffe is the same motherfucking thing. They don't say giraffe.
Yeah, giraffe.
You don't say
ginger.
giraffe. Yeah, you don't say
Yeah.
giraffe. You say giraffe. Giraffe.
Right.
Wow, English is so screwed up. It is.
There's not that many words I can think of, though.
No. I know, because that's how the guy beat the other guy out in one of them debates. It's not GIF, it's GIF. Because do you say girl? It's girl. And then the other motherfucker didn't get to say to him, bitch, you got giraffe. It ain't giraffe. He didn't find that one because there must be not many words that go with a G that says J instead of G.
Right.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, you have the GIF, the JPEG or JPG, and then it goes on from there with TIFF, BIF.
Oh boy.
JPEG AM because it's mobile. The web AM because it's mobile. There's a ton of them. I can't even tell you to set them all. Some of them are images. You know, you got the MP3 is a voice, MP4 is a voice and video. Yeah, and they how to formulate that bitch. 4s and 3s. But no, I've been there. I'm trying to put something back in there and try to see if I can forget about it, buddy, because the fat lady trying to sing and I'm trying to make her stay up there on that stage. Yeah. And dude, the falsifying stuff, I had totally forgot about falsifying. That bitch is the one who reminded me of. She was so desperate, she reminded me of that shit. So I have 900 miles more before my car warranty is over. And when I went to Nissan, the part that I failed on is because I gave her my real fucking. He told me no.
Right.
Yeah, so you know we're gonna pay a visit to somebody else again. We gotta go at it again.
Right.
And yeah, and I'll give you my fucking bank statement. Let me go home and I'll give them to you by tomorrow. And then I sit down and do the last month that I need to do.
Right.
And as far as you know, I can afford it. And I'm taking the brand new car, buddy, because I need a new update so bad to get my ego up.
Right. Definitely.
Yeah, and because I got nothing but that. The only thing I lack is the numbers. I do have a business. I do have a bank account. I am in business.
Right.
I'm all legal. So let's falsify a couple of little digits here and there, bro. But I'm trying to give her time to find out what these people are doing. They're supposed to be checking my background so she could buy her house.
Right.
Hopefully. And that's Georgia. Yeah, and then I got to start. I need a new car. I might think of a van.
I think you should.
But not a minivan.
No, like a van.
A van that I could stick screws in that motherfucker, make a bed somewhere in there and a little cabinet.
Yeah. I know. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, or a couple of milk trays at the end of the day. I give a fuck how it goes. I really do. I'm not in that all that fancy shit. And put my whole world in there because pretty soon I'm going to have my whole world with me. And hopefully I can get something like that. Come on, Charlie. Come on, Charlie. Yeah, because you can't smoke till you fucking pass out.
Right.
So you're literally gonna pass out, and you won't even know that you're passing out because you're just gonna pass out. Yeah.
But basically, you just mean falling asleep, not really passing out.
No, I mean that you will literally go cook food and get yourself ready to go eat, and before you know it, you knock the fuck out.
You on the floor? Oh shit.
Not on the floor, but you're knocked out. Not you're gonna fall down and go to sleep. No, but you will have the idea of you're gonna go prep something, right?
Right. You have no intention of going to sleep.
No, your mind is, I'm gonna go munch it, and
Right.
you took a pause somewhere. You had to wait for it to cook, or you sat down to eat, and you might go fall asleep. Then you're gone. Whenever you take that break, you out of it.
Wow.
Like I tell you, when I drink milk and sit down, if I drink milk and I go sit down talking about, I'm gonna watch the TV. No, you ain't watching TV. You're gonna wake up in the middle of the fucking night. You telling that story to who?
It's like, don't even front. Just
Don't even. So I know now. I even say it. I would say it out loud. I say to my wife, I'm going to bed. I'm about to drink me some coffee. You need anything? Because I know what's happening after that. Lights out, bitch. Like somebody punch you in the head and you just fell out. I would usually wake up in the middle of the night thinking it's in the morning. No, motherfucker, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. It ain't no 6 o'clock in the evening. It's 2 a.m. 2 a.m. Bitch, you just woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning. For what? What happens? So I try to stay away from that coffee for the moment.
But it doesn't have any effect on you, like keeping you up, right?
Coffee don't keep me up.
Yeah.
I think weed keeps me up.
Really? Well, I mean, I choose indicas for that purpose, so I guess. And maybe just in my mind already knows that's what I want to do, so.
No, I think weed don't put me to sleep. Weed keeps me up too. I wouldn't say weed puts me to sleep. If I am feeling tired and I smoke again, I'm like, ready to go again. Yeah. And then whenever I feel like tired again, I will go up again. I go smoke again. Like that's just all I do. And that's how I stay awake. And sometimes when I want to shut down and go to sleep, I literally have to stop smoking so the heavy can come on me.
Right.
Yeah, because you're racing and you're picking up all that dust, and when you slow down and go, all that dust come back and hit you in the head. So to slow it down before I go to bed. So I wouldn't smoke for at least an hour before to try to go to bed. If I go lay down there right now, my mind would eat me up.
Gotcha.
A million ideas and thoughts at one time. So I sit out here before I go in there.
Right.
Well, I'm always out here.
So basically, you're only going to go in there when you know you're going to knock out.
Yeah, it's go to sleep. No joke. No horsing around. No nothing. I'm going in there strictly to go to bed.
Right.
Otherwise, I'm sitting here at this table. Trying to make $1 every day. And this the same thing as you going on a fucking train. You wake up just as early as I do.
Yeah.
Probably even earlier.
Yeah, I wake up at 5:15.
Every day. I do that when my cycle reaches that turn. I don't do that every day. You know, if you go to sleep when your body tells you to go to sleep every day, well, you're going to be like rotating through the time.
Right.
Sometimes you're going to be waking up at night. Sometimes you're going to be waking up in the day. Sometimes you're going to be in the morning, in the afternoon. Your cycle goes all over the place. I don't have a cycle. So I will wake up around 7-ish. Yeah, because that's when numbnuts go. When she was a stripper, I would sleep in the day, but I would be up at night because I had to pick her up.
Right.
But when she comes home, she makes noise. That's when I didn't have the car.
Right.
Yeah, because when you try to be quiet, guess what? You don't be quiet. Yeah, if you try to, I learned that when you try, if somebody's asleep, just be normal. Because when you try not to, that's when you're going to go break the glass. Yeah, or drop something heavy. Bam! Okay, here she comes out here, the little bad girl. The fucking 4-pounder. Row. I like to see this hair. I asked her the other day, I say, hey, how are you going to drive 2 vehicles?
What do you mean?
Well, let's say I'm in Florida, right? I'm not going to Georgia, so she got to move. So you need to drive a U-Haul. You know? And a car. And a car. And an old lady.
Right. Wow, that's a lot of trips.
Oh no, she told me she had to figure out. She said she'll go up, she go on the plane, she go up, she come down. I don't know what the hell she told me. I stopped listening. When she said she had her plan, I already had stopped listening. I didn't. She told me the plan, but I had already stopped. I just was trying to find out she has a plan.
Right.
I wasn't trying to know the plan, but she gave it to me. Anyway, so going and then coming in the plane, then going in the plane or some shit like that. But still, she never really put the second car in the play, but yeah, I let her go with that. Going in the plane, coming in the plane. So you're gonna go in the plane 2 times and come in the plane 2 times and go in the U-Haul once. That's 3 fucking trips.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be 2 trips. Oh yeah. Yeah, I guess.
No, because she budgeted the U-Haul to go up and leave the truck.
Right. But then she would have to be in the car, so wouldn't that be another trip?
That's when she flies down and go up in the car.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Gotcha.
And then she flies down, go in the car, and then flies down again and probably goes with the old lady or tries to take the old lady in the car and see how that works out.
All right. Well, I don't know if you want to see how that works out. You don't want to be like on the way and all of a sudden you realize this ain't going to work.
Well, that's the only way to find out.
Just put her butt on a plane.
I'm just saying that if you want to not go on the plane, well, the other way is to go in the car, cut 2 shots.
Yeah. I mean, she's good at knocking herself out. Tell her to knock herself out.
Yeah, I give her a whole bunch of vodka and put a whole bunch of weed in.
Really? It just, do like a Weekend at Bernie's. That's terrible.
And have all them bitches rolled up waiting. Yep. Yeah, you need one more. Here's another one, bitch. Take another one. Yeah, because you got to be high. All right, so I did that one. Did them all.
Just gotta knock her on.
Now I gotta do chronic boom delights. I gotta put the videos in that one. I'll take that tomorrow.
Yeah, man. Take some tomorrow.
So then it'll be one YouTube channel, one Hammer YouTube, one Roku channel. I need to buy into this shit too. Yeah, when you buy into the plugin, they give you access to. When I buy into the plugin, if I buy into the plugin, right? It gives me access to Amazon Prime with the feed and Hulu with the feed. But that's the paid version. I forget how much that shit costs. Wherever he lowered his price by now. Yeah, because I've been using it now for 6 years, right? This little thing I've been playing with. And he has an upgrade button. I just never upgraded. I don't never upgrade on these things. I guess.
You're very talented as far as I'm concerned. 'Cause I know nothing about any of that shit.
But I guess you should.
Nothing.
Okay. Is that? Yeah, putting stuff on the Roku channels.
I don't know none of that kind of stuff.
Well, you watch a lot of the shit because you watch. I know you watch. You probably got a Hulu. My wife has a Hulu.
Yeah, Hulu.
Okay. And she got the other motherfucker, the Sling Ding. And then she got the other
I
motherfucker.
got Sling.
And she got, no, hold on. I know you probably got all the motherfuckers too. She got the Peacock.
I do.
She got Peacock. I'm sure you got the Peacock.
Oh, I don't know about that. Maybe.
And
okay,
then,
keep going.
And she all into Amazon because she get all the Amazon Prime stuff.
Oh, yeah, me too.
So that's all another shitload of videos there too with Amazon Prime.
Right.
She just not left something on the TV with Jennifer Lopez's new video that came out with Netflix. Oh, she got Netflix too. Yeah, and I asked her like, "Is it a Netflix video?" And she's like, "I'm not sure." I said, "But it's on Netflix." Said, yeah. So Jennifer Lopez, how did it do that? That's what I've been trying to understand. How do you make a Netflix video?
What do you mean?
She made a movie, and it's not with like. Before it used to be, you had to use practically Paramount or Universal.
Right.
Those guys.
But yeah, now they all do that, right? Apple TV has their own channel. They make their own shows. So does Hulu too.
Whoa.
Amazon has their own shows. So Amazon, Apple, Netflix, they all have their own shows. HBO makes their own movies.
Their own movies.
Yeah.
Not nobody else's.
And shows, right? And shows, because I think about something like The Sopranos.
Okay.
The Sopranos was made for HBO.
Uh-huh.
So they started producing their own stuff. In fact, I think they're probably the first to really make their own stuff.
I was going to say that they probably were the one who opened up the door and kept it on a monopoly for the fucking
I think
sales.
so too, because they've been doing that forever.
Because Netflix only Netflix, it was what, Showtime and HBO. There were the two of them. And them two was competing against each other.
Well, when we were kids, do you remember WHT?
Who?
WHT?
No.
So WHT was like HBO or Showtime.
No, I know.
The only reason I knew about it was because I was very bad when I was a kid, and I realized that they must have had like porn movies.
Oh shit.
On WHT at certain times, but I realized that for my brother's TV, because he wasn't home, he was always with his girlfriend. I could see it, but you know when you could see it through like all the lines, you know, like when the channels fucked up. And I would sit through that just to catch whatever glimpses I could. That was terrible. You're sitting there like, well, I think I saw something. Wait.
Yeah. Lord have mercy. But that's how we were. And, and TV in jail was weird to watch TV. There was some crazy motherfuckers watching TV. Even the cartoons, you have to be there. Like, dude, it's just cartoons. You've been locked away. Yeah, it's just cartoons, and he have a double mind. So wow, all that, and that shit was pretty easy today. I was able to create a new channel. I had a channel, but I'm already published, but I didn't have no videos in it. And then put prices on all of them, and then figure out a layout for tomorrow. I already have basically YouTube. Grab my little videos I got there, put them up, and then trying to play with this editor that I got. It's free. It ain't easy, but it's free. I have
to go through a few extra loops.
Yeah, I gotta learn that now to make a decent little video. And go from there.
Cool. That's awesome.
Somewhat. Ain't gonna pay the fucking car note though, so I gotta get on point with that part. It's been very time consuming, I tell you that.
How's sales been the last couple of days?
It's been same. I made what?
Okay.
I made less today though. But it was something I was able to clock something, because shit, I went for a minute with not clocking a damn penny, using up my reserves, which it's a shameful to even call my reserves. But here we are. These fucking dogs, they take one by one. Give me 1 second. Let me go open up the door for the little 4-pounder. Come on, Ruby. Yeah, like, he went and scratched at the door, went in, I got up, and then they just tap at the door, and then look back at you like, bitch, open the door. You know I'm trying to open the door. This is what I see from them in their face and their eyes, because it's the same look.
Having a whole conversation with you.
Dude, it's the same look every time. She looked over her shoulders, her ears fall down, she give you the sad look, like, you know. Like, I wouldn't even say sad. You know, like when a motherfucker say, like, come on, bro. You know that face they put?
Like, come on, you already know. Like, really?
That's the shit she's looking at me.
What are you looking for?
Yeah, you're looking at me like, dummy. Come on, bro. You got me scratching at the door. Come on. Yeah. And she does her little head. She does this gesture like she's panting with the paws. And like, you know, like I'm mad. Like, you know, when you, anyway, I don't know. I see humans in these little motherfuckers with attitude. But I had to get up. I had to stop when the way she was looking at me, because I can see her from where I'm sitting by the door.
Right.
And she's just looking at me like, get up, open the door. So,
like, hello.
Yeah. She spoke to me with her looks, and I was forced to obey. That's the way I felt, bro. Yeah,
got you wrapped around her paw.
Dominated by a 4-pound fucking dog with a tail that goes up and down, up and down. She looked like a little rattlesnake.
It's cute.
No, she's not cute. That looks weird. It's like the weirdest thing. Dog tails don't shake that way. But I don't know why. No, but hers is. Yeah, it's not.
She's special.
She's a weirdo. Yeah, because I don't know what. She's a Chihuahua, but she looks like a little tiny Doberman. She don't look like any Chihuahua you would think. Yeah, Ruby looks like a little tiny little Doberman.
Wow.
Yeah.
So she's like black and red?
No, she don't have the colors of a Doberman. She looks like a little Doberman. If you put the color, if you paint her all black, she's brown.
Right.
And she has a black tail, black ears, black toes. I think it was one white. But the way she looks is the same style of a Doberman.
Right.
You know, like you could, if I show you a silhouette of a Doberman and a silhouette of a Greyhound, you know which one is the Doberman.
Right.
Ears always up. Yeah. And her tail, when she gets like in a hunt, it goes straight, no curls, no curve, just straight like a fucking.
Wow.
And she's built like a little tiny little Doberman. Now, Bella, you know, she's a Chihuahua because she got a big ass head and bubble eyes. Yeah. And her eyes like sticking out her forehead. Yeah, her eyes are sticking out her head. Her eyes like the size of a marble, and her head ain't much bigger than a marble. What do you call the big marbles? We biggie bumps. The big ones. Yeah.
Yeah, not marbles or marble. I don't know.
No, you had the marbles, the regular size marble, and then you had the big bumps. Then it was the steel ones because you had some guy, you know, sometimes you bring out the little marbles, but they were made out of steel, which is not a marble, it's a fucking ball bearing.
Right.
And we played with them. People used to hate it because that shit would break your marble. It'll crack that bitch. That's the whole idea of playing marbles. It wasn't to get more marbles. It was to break your marble. By playing. It's glass. Every time
we're not collecting. We're
No.
trying to break your shit.
I'm trying to break your shit. Take a chick off of it. Because by playing marbles, every time you hit that motherfucker, it's cracking it. Literally, it's glass. Bunch of little glass balls. But them kids today don't understand none of this shit. They don't know what marble is.
Well, like almost like, look, it was so cute today. So they had an area in the park where they were able to do like these obstacle courses. I mean, these things are scary as fuck. Like, yeah, they're scary. I mean, you're in a harness and blah, 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 but yeah, it's scary. So they're doing all these different things, but there was a couple of girls that didn't want to do it. And it was so cute. I don't think they ever did that in their whole life. They started collecting sticks. They sat on the ground. And they started making a little village with the pine cones and all this other stuff. And there was like this hay-like stuff. I don't know where they got that. And then they were building like little fire pits with stones. And I was so happy to see them do that. It was like, that's exactly what kids should do at this age. Yes, this is exactly what you should be doing. I was so happy to see it. And they were like talking to me about their village and they were telling me all about it.
An imaginary village, so right?
Cool. And it looked so cute. It was great to see them be kids. That's what they're missing. When you grow up in the hood, you grow up fast, and it's like you don't get a chance sometimes to just be a kid. And not have to worry about all the heavy shit in life, Because, a lot of them have rough lives, and that's heavy to deal with all the time. So for one night, 2 days, you got to just be a kid. Just play, just run. It was so cute. Look, some of the stuff they did, we didn't even pay for. It was all free shit. There was a huge hill of just grass, beautiful grass. They rolled down that hill about 100 times, bro. They were so excited to run back up and roll down the hill, then rolling over each other. It was the cutest shit ever.
That's what kids in our time did. We played on hills with cardboards.
Yeah, right. Like, we did shit like that, and I guarantee you that none of them has ever rolled down a hill of grass. First of all, you wouldn't do that because in the hood, nobody picks up after their dog, so you're going to be rolling over shit.
If you go, look, break dancers walk around with cardboards, and when we were younger than break dancing, we used to play with cardboards sliding down hills. Today, the only people that play with cardboards are homeless. So you don't play with cardboards no more. It screwed that up. It really screwed that up. Yeah. You don't get plenty. You don't even. Everybody throws away their cardboard. It's clean out the trash. That's the first thing you throw away today.
Like, I remember I used to love finding, like, branches and, like, taking a pocket knife and just whittling them away. I just had to think for that.
Well,
I used to do that for hours and hours and hours. I used to love that shit.
Well, I made my slingshots. I've used a slingshot. I know what a fucking slingshot is. And all the time we knew what it's easy to make. You need some rubber band, and you can go find you a stick. That's a V. You don't need to go buy you a metal thing. That's all this stuff that they use for a slingshot today. Yeah. Just to be creative, make your little slingshot.
Right. But that's the thing, the kids don't have to be creative anymore. They have all these games that are already created. That they don't have a chance sometimes to be creative on their own and create shit. Go invent a game. We did that all the time.
Yeah.
Constantly inventing games. And they don't do that anymore. They don't have the opportunity.
Not these kids today.
No. So yeah, it was really beautiful to see them be like little kids. They had a ball.
It's good for them.
It was really cool.
It's good.
Yeah, I was really happy for them.
And you said there were 10 of them, huh?
And I mean 10 really good, smart, sweet kids.
When you say that, you know what I remember? I remember being in jails in America for youth. That allowed us. I played basketball in prison for Brownwood State School. And that shit was fun, but it was always bittersweet because in every trip something happened.
Oh wow, what you mean something happened? Like what?
I mean something happened. Something happens. Just something has to happen. If it's not a fucking trip.
Okay.
Yeah. And all kind of weird shit, from buses breaking down to fights in other people's jails, because we go into another jail. Sometimes we play schools, and then that's when the real problem started. Yeah, when we started going into little schools, high schools, and competing with the high schools, that shit went sour quick. Because you're liable if you hit a civilian and you're in jail.
Right.
So that didn't work out very well for him. But that's how it rolls, buddy. Yeah. Oh shit. I'm here now setting up the platform because I actually deleted the platform for the CBD part. Yeah, because I used to sell my little CBD for $1.99. I used to make a couple of dollars off of that too. And that went and I had deleted it.
Have any of your channels really, like, you felt like they really performed well?
The SoFlo one, and it will perform a lot better if I pay attention to it. But I never really. I used to do the adult stuff, and I kind of lost the thing for that. I really have. I really have lost a thing for that.
What do you think it was?
Huh?
What do you think it was?
I mean, what I think it was.
Like, what do you think it was that made you, like, lose your thing for that?
I have no clue. I don't do it no more. I don't even try to mess with these because I don't mess with it no more. I haven't really messed with nothing to do with strippers in a couple of years. Faya was the last girl. Yeah, and we started talking when Faya practically moved out. Yeah. Yeah, I think so, because I was already inside of her room. Yeah, I kicked her out to take her room. But that's when me and Nunna started fighting.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and to get away from her, I had to kick her out to get the room. The only way I could be apart from her in my own room and lock a door was in there. So she had to go.
Right.
And all that started turning things around with us. All that. Because Faya, see how she has the old lady? Well, that was, and I showed how the old lady, like the other day, she tried to tell me something, but the old lady do what? Bitch, Faya, they had no say-so in this house when she was here. That was the whole problem. That I used to tell you, bitch, she paying your rent. And you're trying to tell me that now with the old lady. Why would you do that? It don't feel good, right? When a motherfucker cut out, right? When you got the rent money there. Well, you did that to me every fucking single time. All them hoes I brought there, you should have made them feel great. That was your job to make them feel great. Not cause fucking bickering and causing problems that I sit up in that car. I practically kick every last one of them out.
Wow.
Because of her bullshit. Yeah, every time she gave me a problem, I got rid of my problem. But every time I told her my problem, she never changed any one of the problems. I was stupid. None of that shit, I paid attention to it. But I could see it now. I can see it now. I didn't see it like that then, and I could see how it all, I could see when it all started sliding. And I know when and I knew it. Look, when we and her met, before Thomas was even born, I ended up going to jail. Because when I came here, I had warrants for my arrest. I was speeding. I got stopped. The fucking guy took me to jail. Let her drive away without a driver license. But he took my ass to jail. I spent money for a lawyer. That bitch stole my money because I ended up doing 8 months anyway.
Wow.
For some
For
shit?
speeding?
No, for something that was 13 years old.
Oh, okay. Let's say Jesus.
13 years old. That bitch still gave me 8 months. By that
Wow.
time, by the time I got out, when I got home, yeah, I told that bitch, you're different. Something changed. Yeah, and that's what I stayed at. And I know what changed. Something happened while I was in jail.
Right.
And I left that alone. Yeah, it's a lot of shit. No, I don't have no.
Of course.
I have no plans on going to Georgia. I have a lot of plans on doing a lot of falsification here in a minute. That's all I got in my head right now. I forgot all about that shit. And yeah, when was the last time I falsified a document? Oof, I have no idea. I really.
So has she been to Georgia at all?
No, my brother. That's the shit I'm trying to tell you.
I don't mean like has she done it recently? Like in her life, she's never been to Georgia.
No.
Okay. And does she have an idea where she wants to go in Georgia?
Research through places like Willow. I showed her how to do that. You could go to Willow and find out any neighborhood, how much the income average is around that neighborhood, what the school statuses are, and all that crap.
Right. Okay.
They got a lot of variables in there when it comes to like them places. I know Zillow. I have an account in Zillow as a seller. I had to learn that MLS bullshit for that.
Why?
Their feed, because I was making somebody a website.
Oh, got you. That's cool.
So I learned that these guys has a link, and then once I make the platform and he give me his link, the data just pops in because it's a link, and that link is a feed. It's also a feed. The MLS bullshit is a feed. That's another extension. MLS, I think is what it's called. Yeah, that MLS.
Yeah, it is MLS.
Yeah, that's an extension. Like JPG and GIF. It's just another extension. And once you have one of those, you put it into the platform that reads it, and you give it a pretty layout so it could show it, and you're done. Your work is done.
Wow.
Yeah, we'll put all that data into your database.
Wow.
Yeah, and if you do a good job, you're only left doing a couple of tweaks, and you sign off and give me my money. That's not hard stuff. It's not hard stuff, but yeah, you just gotta. But I had to learn it, and that's how I learned that, because I was building the shit and I needed his shit. Because the fucking apparatus that I was working with was asking me for his MLS.
Right.
It's funny. No, I learned a lot of shit through my time, bro. I learned all about the music stuff too, places to go put, but that's always evolution. That music is. Yeah, I think like SoundCloud is played out. They got new shit. Reverb Nation, the stuff that I knew, I'm sure they don't use that no more. SoundCloud, Reverb Nation.
I don't know about that either.
And now I'm into, I know how to turn on a radio station. It costs, you need $5,000 to buy the antenna. Yeah, and then after that, it's a couple of permits. But the main thing is the antenna that you got to put in your yard.
Right.
Or in the highest peak of your, whatever you have in your yard.
Of your area.
You want it above all the other houses and buildings. That's closest to you. Because you only running a local. And then once you go local, you could do that shit like they do in podcasting. It's, what the fuck, syndicated. And once you do that, you can get into radio stations.
Right.
Because you syndicate. I don't know what the word means, but I've seen it as syndicate, as connecting two things into one sort of shit.
I have no idea.
Syndication. Yeah, I don't know what it means, but that like TV is I don't know TV use. I don't know why all these different words for the same apparatus. It's the same. Yeah, how how these guys start the same machine and they give it so many names. It was just simple as put it as machine, and we could.
Right.
But they don't. They give it so many names. Like if I steal, it's a crime. But if he, one of the politicians do anything wrong, it's just not a crime.
Uh-huh.
It's not a real crime.
Well, it is. It's just they're going to find a way to find a loophole to get out of that crime.
No, I don't even know that crimes are different from other crimes, dude. Them guys don't even go to the same prison. Imagine, majority of the people, majority of the inmates are state prisoners.
Uh-huh.
You can never match what the feds have to what the states have. Hell no.
Right.
Feds has a little bit of population compared to all the states. But the feds' time is worse than the state because you don't get much game time.
Right.
So you do most of your time. If you get a year, no matter what you do, you're going to probably do the whole year. If you're in the state and you go to school, you can knock off for your year. If you work at something, you can knock off for your year. And get a piss me off salary like 15 cents.
Wow, 15 cents.
Yeah. And sometimes they make you give it away. Sometimes you got to give back your work pay.
Uh-huh.
So you can get the game time, because in some places like Louisiana, if I know that, if you take the money, you don't get the time.
Okay.
They don't give you both.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if you work to knock off your sentence, you ain't getting paid.
Right.
Okay.
It's one or the other.
It's one or the other. If you want to get that paycheck, buddy, don't think you're going to get your sentence shortened.
Right.
It's not going to work for you like that. So, and
nobody gets everything.
Right. So, that is funny. No, every state is different from every state. We know all that because in some states, in your state, they have the death penalty.
I don't think so. I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
We got that shit here.
That's because it's a Republican state.
Texas has it too. They're Republican too.
And they're a Republican state too.
And Texas is different from Florida. Florida is a chair. Texas is an injection. Yeah.
God, I don't even know what's worse.
In California,
I think the chair.
Well, you got another one. You got the gas. That's California.
And that's twisted too.
Yeah. Gas?
Listen, here's the thing. The same way that I told you in Sweden, they do, if someone wants to end their life, they'll take it. They don't put them through hell. They give them something, they fall asleep, and they're dead. Why do we have these twisted, apparatus? If you want to kill somebody, kill them. Why you got to kill them in such a gruesome way? What's the point of that?
Because
just put them out.
It's a cult, and in all executions, they actually have a law allowing them. They have a law that is mandated that, I don't know, I think it's 20, 50 motherfuckers have to be seated there.
Wow, that's twisted.
You see what I'm saying? So now we know that that's being sold not by money, but by favors. The most important one, and the one who has, within the parentheses, donated, them the ones who get to see, because there's people who go there that ain't got a fucking thing to do with that crime, and they go there.
Right.
But you have to have witnesses for an execution. It's all written up in the law for these freaks to watch people dying.
That's twisted.
Yeah.
That is absolutely twisted.
So if I ever have to sit in a chair, my only desire will be my last my last thing that they ask you for will be to die in peace. Yeah. And I don't need no come do me somewhere else.
None of those ways sounds very peaceful.
And there's money involved because the guy who's sitting there, whatever money they got out of that chairs, he could use that as restitution to a family.
Right.
Yeah, he can whatever. Yeah, no, that whole execution thing is
it's like created to be punitive. It's created to be horrific.
Right.
Right, because like I said, you could put somebody out and they just die peacefully. Yeah, that's it. They're gone. Why we gotta be so like archaic and shit? Like back in the 1800s, like that's just barbaric.
All right, but they still got a shooting squad still.
That's barbaric too. I mean, personally, I guess I'd rather get shot than be in that chair.
No.
With a firing squad, you're gonna be shot a lot of times.
No, you're not. No, you got that fucked up, buddy. They don't work that way, sweetie.
So then why do they bother having all those guns?
What state shoots you for capital murder? I wonder if that's how everybody should have said it like that.
And even a firing squad is stupid. Just go up to the person, back of the head, shoot them. Why do we need firing squads? Why do we need people? We need one person with a gun. I don't get it.
Oh, no, firing squad. You said it there. Because you need a firing squad because there's only one motherfucker in there who has the bullet, bro.
That's even more twisted.
Yeah.
That's even more twisted. That's really twisted. Wow. These things, Jesus Christ.
No, I'm telling you this. It's only one guy in there who has a bullet. He don't know he has the bullet.
Wow. I never knew that.
Yeah. And that's to save the shooters
guilt?
Humanity and guilt, correct, all in one. So no one in there feels guilty because they don't know who actually shot the real bullet.
I had no idea. That's the whole education you just gave me.
Yeah, it ain't all of them shooting you. That is not how that shit works. Not in a legal state. In a legal state kind of shit. When you're talking about cowboy,
I guess I'm used to what I'm seeing in the movies.
In the movie cowboy stuff, yeah, the firing squad, everybody's firing. No, but in the real true shit, it's not like that.
Oh my God, that's even more twisted. Jesus, these people got problems.
Yeah, and no, all these guys, the one who gives the injection is not given to you in one dose. So it's 3 motherfuckers giving you a dose, so none of them really killing you. Because none of those things individually will literally kill you. It will hurt you, but not kill you.
Right.
All 3 of them is what kills you.
In combination.
Yeah.
Right.
So you got 3 needles in your arm, and they're all going in different times.
Again, twisted. Just kill a motherfucker. What's wrong with these people? Jesus.
And the gas chamber, that I would imagine that would be like,
oh my God.
Yeah, I haven't really heard nothing of that because you can't really be in the chamber.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
You're watching like a guy in an egg dying. You can't hear him. You can't know. You can see him. Yeah, he's foamy afterwards a little bit from all that shit he had to inhale. Yeah. But that would be like drowning to me, in a way, I guess. Right. That would be water filling up your lungs. This is just some
where you're choking.
As you're choking to fucking death. And it probably burns your lungs.
Right. Yep.
I always said I don't never go to California, buddy. No way.
Because of the smog?
because of smog kind of bitches electrocute your ass over there. Yeah, stay away from that.
And we do not do crimes in places where they fry you.
But no, they give you the fucking gas chamber. That bullshit there is no good, man.
I don't know, but the chair sounds. Oh my God, there are no words for the chair.
There's people who live through it.
That's even worse. Who the fuck wants to live through it? You must have permanent damage.
Look, you could do this research. There's a case, right, that the guy was sitting in the chair, they pulled the switch, he didn't die. You know, because when you pull it down, it's like you pull it down, then it goes back up, bam, off.
Right.
Okay. So they did the up. Homeboy was still alive. And then they re-killed him. So that's 2 executions. Yeah, that's considered like that by the law. That would have been 2 executions. He was only sentenced to 1 execution, and that's how he got. The dude was totaled though.
Wow.
Yeah, he was totaled, but he didn't.
Yeah. This is what I'm saying. Who the fuck wants to live? Nobody wants to live after that. You don't know what the hell that did to you.
So now you only get to pull the switch once. So there's a law made for that. You can't double switch his ass.
Which is stupid. Now think about that. Does that make any fucking sense? That's even more twisted. Think about that. That's even more twisted. Because the humane thing to do is to pull the fucking switch a second time. That's the one where you actually give a shit. The first one you killed them. The second one you were compassionate.
No, because they say you were sentenced to death.
Worse.
In that time, remember, none of that. No, we didn't have this kind of thinking today. Remember that. Them guys back then would have put it as he was sentenced to death, you know, and so now they got specific.
Yes, but if
even
the whole
wording.
purpose is to kill you, then pull the switch a second time.
You know now that the clock that they got for these guys got the fucking seconds and the other seconds and the other seconds?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, you know, like a stopwatch got 4 sets of fucking numbers, really. You got the little numbers between the second, then the second, then the minutes, then the hours.
Right.
4 sets of numbers in a stopwatch. But a normal clock in school just got the 2 sets, the hour and the minutes.
Right.
But them guys got to break it all the way down to seconds and to milliseconds. Because if the phone rings, you can stop it. But before, if you were sentenced to death, it was just sentenced to death, bro. You had to midnight.
Right.
Yeah, if I said you were sentenced to death on the 18th, you had till 12 o'clock. Boom, you would die. I could have killed you any time between that.
Wow.
Yeah, even like when you let go of prisoner now, the judge gives them time. Because before it was a day. You got to let them go on this day. And that wording had to be changed because you let a motherfucker at the end of the day. And who wants to come out of jail at 12 o'clock at night?
Right.
But that's happened. And that's when, usually in any city, because you're in the city, at that time, I mean, New York is different from most cities, but most cities, you go downtown for a lot of there right now, there's nothing there.
Right.
There's no cabs, there's no people, there's not many shit going on there, but police cars, because you're being let out right by the county jail. Dangerous place to be walking at night.
Well, yeah, if there's nobody around, I guess so.
Only but cops. Yeah.
Right.
Nah, dude. We're gonna do my little thing here. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do. It told me had the firing squad is still used in some countries, such as the United States, but it's not widely used for execution. In the United States, it is only used in certain states, and it is only used if the inmate requests it. And castrating too. You can request to be castrated. You ever heard some shit?
Why would someone request that?
To be their punishment instead of death.
Oh, Father in heaven.
Yes, ma'am.
That's horrendous.
Yes, ma'am. Well, that's the United States, dude. United States of America. They'll do some fuck up negotiations with you behind them doors.
Like for real, like that's what? And because we're not talking about medical castration, we're talking about physical castration.
I don't know what the difference between the two. I mean, you're losing the same parts in both?
No, so medical castration just means that you can never have a kid.
No. We're talking about losing body parts here. We're talking about chopping our shit.
Body parts.
Yeah, you chopping our shit. Castrating. You losing shit.
Right.
Yeah, you ain't ever using that motherfucker forever. It's a punishment, dude. And it's trying to avoid death.
You know what? If I'm a guy, kill me. You crazy.
I don't know, buddy. We could do without the willy.
I'm walking around without a willy.
And we could, you in prison. You ain't using it no way but beating it up in there. So you might as well get rid of it and stay alive. No sense to have a willy and being dead, buddy. I'll be talking your ass out of it, bro. It's like, dude, you got a willy. You know, so if you dead with your willy, what the good is your willy? Stay alive, bro. Stay alive. Every time I walk out here, I say, bro, stay alive. Be positive, my brother. You can probably still tickle it or something. You can tickle it there and still feels a sensation or something, but yeah, dead willy, dead man and a dead willy, no good, man, no good. It's no good, sir, no good. You stay alive, motherfucker. No, yeah, you're the one who's funny. Yeah.
Funny.
Who you work a whole life, bro, and you just finished. And you better start fucking celebrating that shit. What are you gonna do, bro?
I have no idea. I haven't even really thought about like any kind of celebration. I'm not really celebrating kind of tight.
Well, I don't know.
Celebrate things.
I asked my wife what she's doing. I asked you what you doing. Y'all both like y'all would be great friends because y'all plan the same way. Y'all just be wilding out.
Well, I mean, I've never done anything like this before. This is different for me. This is different. I mean, I still always believe that things will work out.
Well, then I tell you, this motherfucker never been to Georgia in her life. This is different for her too. This bitch is crazy.
Yeah, true.
That fucking making a whole leap. Like I'm jumping from here to there. Ooh, you, bro. I come visit you at my house. Save a room. Save a room. Put a desk. You have my old computer underneath one of those beds. You just turn on my computer, leave it there. If it's me. Yeah, I'll be able to tap into it. That other computer have that Google remote. I put it on all my computers. Google remote.
Right.
And then from your phone, you can access. As long as that computer turns on and it has internet service, that account's still in there. It signs in with Google Gmail. It's all about Gmail. So once the computer turns on, my Gmail will turn on because my browser is in all of these computers too.
That's interesting. I guess that must be how I sign into YouTube too. Because anytime I sign into my Gmail, I'm automatically signed in to my YouTube.
You ever been?
And I know that because it happens at work. and that should not know that I have a YouTube channel. It does because I went to Gmail.
That should not be showing up there.
Right.
So you gotta go when you open the browser. You gotta go to the settings, bro. Browser history and cookies and all that crap, and delete it all.
I usually delete history. I don't do anything else, but I usually do delete history.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I'm looking at anything that I need to be worried about,
but no, that should not be on them computers in the school. Period. It shouldn't be
right.
It should not be on YouTube. Wow. So they don't be watching that shit. You know, all that is logged, and somebody just
because I kept wondering why when I would go to YouTube sometimes I was signed into my account, and I'm like, but I never would sign into my account at work. Why is this happening?
No, I'm saying.
And then I put it together because I went into Gmail. And I don't usually do that either. It means I had to print something. That's what that means.
Out of your
I
phone?
went into Gmail on my work computer because I needed to print. And so.
Yeah, no, that's a no,
once
too.
I did that.
You know, that's a no, too.
It automatically kicked over to YouTube and turned my shit on. I was like, wow, that's crazy.
Okay, let me ask you, is that breaking the rules legally, really? If you, because what you're saying to me, when you say you use your personal Gmail to print in there, it's because you use your phone to go print with the fucking school computer. Literally, you're stealing paper and ink.
Oh, I guess. But yeah, that's not. Yeah, like that's so nothing, dude. Like, because that's every job on the entire planet. You'd have to fire the entire workforce. Because everyone does that.
Huh.
Yeah, like everyone.
Wow.
Everyone.
You know the school has a log for all that too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's an intranet.
But ain't nobody. I mean, you gotta have no kind of life to be sifting through that. So most places don't do that kind of stuff.
Because you got an intranet.
Unless they think they have a reason.
Yeah, the internet system, the slave computer has all the records of what all the others computer done.
Are doing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at every.
Yeah, that's why they tell you, like, don't go into your bank account. Don't do that on like your work computer.
No.
Credit cards, all that kind of stuff that you sign into.
It all saves it, and you really gotta go into settings and take that shit out of there, dude. Because you could delete history, but it still got catch.
Right. Right.
It's funny. No, the computer's a bitch. The computer logs all kind of stuff, bro, to make itself better.
Because they're banking on that most people are not like you who know so much. They figure most people don't know shit, so they won't know, and that's it.
But the system has it all in there. Trust me.
Of course it does, but who's like looking into that? Nobody.
Oh, I could go to. So let me ask you. The system is set up, right? Because in prison it was set up like that. That's another one I want to ask today. Yeah, we're getting a little bit deeper with this stuff. In prison, a person, an inmate, a regular person who ain't never done nothing with the rules, he can change a rule. He can add a rule. If
what's like the process for that?
Just giving an idea of how something could be better, or it happens very not so frequent, but it happens, or trying. Well, I could say happens frequent in a daily basis on the daily rules. They're always getting modified.
Oh, the daily rules.
Yeah, because sometimes one quadrant will never have a person who's missing an eye, or one quadrant will never had a person who was in a wheelchair. So rules are being changed. For instance, when it's time to eat, the guy in the wheelchair, he gets the first plate. The guy in the wheelchair, he gets the first everything. He don't never get stuck out. He always gets put in the front of the line.
Yep.
Yeah, and then there's los viejitos. Everybody who's older than 50 years old. So today I will have privilege all the time. But I've always had privilege anyway. But and then it's everybody else. Oh no, sorry. After los viejitos, it's the guys who work to keep that shit running.
Right.
The ones who maquinando. Then they get to eat after the old guys. Then everybody else. Yeah, and you can go in line by ranking, depending if it's chicken wings.
Wow.
Yeah, so when it was like fried chicken and shit like that, or something good, everybody used their fucking badge. Yes. And so primero, boom, you get in the front. And then you could be humble and wait till the last.
Right.
That was my strategy. Yeah, I was never, because I always got somebody's commissary. I never got it brought to me, but I bought people shit with the drugs that I was able to sell.
Right.
Well, in the beginning, I built boats. And I did a lot of weird shit. Yeah.
Well, I guess you had no choice.
Yeah, I did work. But building boats is the fun part. Yeah. No, I build like I learned how to make, we call them bracelets, I guess you could call them. And I told you I used to do, once I went in and I had my earrings, everybody wanted earrings. So I started punching motherfuckers with earrings. Every time I did an earring, I charged you a pack or two of cigarettes.
Wow.
And then with a pack of cigarettes, you could do a lot. Because it's almost like $10. Every cigarette is almost, yeah, every cigarette is $1.
Wow.
And it was crazy because you'll send your family to buy a carton of cigarettes and then bring it into jail and then give it away for $10.
Wow.
No, dude, it's what pack of carton of cigarettes I think is supposed to be cheap in Puerto Rico. I know in St. Thomas it's cheap as hell.
I remember.
You don't go double digits
I
with a
mean,
carton.
yeah, I remember back in the day, like, oh, a long time ago, maybe like 20 years, 15 years. They were still like $8 a carton.
You don't.
What?
No, they're still the same. I can't. If you're double digits, it gotta be like 12, maybe, or maybe like the Indians said. I bought $7 pack of cigarettes with the Indians today.
Oh wow!
That's still $21 a carton though.
Right.
The same time I said.
That's good compared to what? So how much is cigarettes regularly?
In any normal store, you're gonna reach 9 and change, 9 something plus tax. So you really hit close to the $10.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you go 9.
It's 11 something here, almost 12.
Good night. You know, I really went into my awareness for that one. I had to go deep. I said, what do I say to that shit? And I went in. I just went into myself, and that shit just came out. Good night. Well, that's what I'm supposed to say. You know, it's good night. You're hilarious. You tell me that I'm hilarious? So you're the one who's hilarious, and I be catching your jokes because they're hilarious. Wow, that fucker threw a curveball. Yes, young lady. Good
Wait,
night.
I think I'm confused. What did I do?
Huh?
I'm confused. What did I do?
Well, you're the jokester. Look at the joke you crack.
I'm not.
Who's the jokester? I'm not cracking jokes. I'll be revealing your jokes. That's what I be doing. You be saying I'm cracking jokes because I say it out loud. No, my friend. You're the one who cracking jokes.
Wait. So, I mean, I'm like, seriously, what did I say? I'm high already. What did I say? I don't even know what joke I cracked.
Okay, this is your joke. I don't know what topic we was on, and you came out and said, "Oh, the time in here. Look, it's 11 something." 11.
What?
You called out the time at the moment.
No, I didn't.
Yes,
No, I
you
didn't.
did. Yeah, you did.
No, I did not. I have not even looked at the time.
But you think
No,
I said?
that's not. Oh my God, you kookaberry. That's not what I said.
Oh Lord, I really hope. I really hope.
No. Now that you said it, listen to me. Now that you said it, I remember what I said. Thank you. No, you said. You're funny. You said that a pack of cigarettes was like 9 and change. And I said here they're 11 something. And you thought I said the time, but I didn't. I said no. I said here cigarettes cost 11 something.
I thought they were $18 in your city, bro.
Well, anyway, let's go back to that.
Well,
you heard something completely different and thought I was telling jokes, and I'm like, what are you talking
Okay,
about?
all right. Well, then I'm the one who's too high then, not you. And I'm cracking jokes. I will listen. Look, that is supposed to be recorded somewhere. I don't know where it's recorded. Yeah, it's supposed to be.
Okay, go back.
I can't go back. I have to wait till it's done. Then I go back. Yeah, it's no back. It's no back right now.
I'm like, good night. Why are you saying good night? I thought you were saying goodnight because you were like, fuck that, 11-something for a pack of cigarettes. I'm like, well, why is it a joke?
Well, yeah, it's still good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, wait, joke? Did I tell a joke?
No, the only thing I was trying to get in the whole time was to say we're going to listen to the video, but we'll listen to the video whenever the hell is done. I'll be cracking up here tomorrow by myself when I re-listen to it. Yeah. And that's probably about 30 seconds between that time I said that and by the time you were trying to correct me.
And I'm like, I'm high, but now I don't remember what I said. Wait, what?
I swear to God, I heard you told me that there was 11 something at nighttime. I'm like, okay, good night.
Why would I do that? Have I ever done that? Why would I do that? That's stupid.
I don't know. I must have been high. I really went in deep. And I went deep to think for that one too, dude. I told you I went deep. I don't know what I heard there. I said, dude, that's like the thing that says green light, and then what's the other fucking thing it says? If you listen to it one more moment and think of green light, it says green light. I know you've seen that meme before. That recording. No, there's one recording, right? And it's two words, and whichever word you think of is what the recording will say to you. So in other words, you can re-listen to the fucking video and think of the other one, and you're still gonna hear what the other word. And you can go back to it again a third time and think of the other side, and it will sound as the other. Whatever you think of is the sound is gonna say.
It sound like that.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's saying two things in one recording.
Wow. Huh.
And it's so fucking weird. It's like that one time, just like the other day, that the fucking video, you couldn't hear the video, but you could hear the other video on the other phone, and you can hear me, but you couldn't hear the video. I can hear them all, and then I'm bugging out because you can't hear one specifically, the video.
One.
And that shit was crazy, bro.
Kept you up.
It did.
Gotta figure it out. I gotta figure it out.
No, I don't know. I left that shit alone. I don't know. That shit hurt.
So you threw in the white towel?
The white, the black, I threw the whole rainbow like the faggots. I threw the whole,
my defeat.
yeah,
I accept my defeat.
I threw the whole bandana, the whole fucking flag, the whole red, the faggot flag. I went in there. The faggot flag, that's what it is now. Can't even say a rainbow. I was going to say I threw the whole rainbow in there, but the only thing came out was the faggot flag. Jesus. So this lady said 11:35. I thought you said good night.
No, you said good night.
Yeah, no, I thought you said good night.
Because, sometimes I got to, think of stuff. I'm like, wait a second. He said that. That means this. Wait, what? What does he think I mean? Okay. I go through some shit sometimes. I'm trying to figure stuff out.
Well, you're the psychologist. Or the therapist. I'm just the client, dude.
I'm like, wait, I don't know what's happening right now. Wait, okay, let me play that backwards. Okay, what happened? I said what? He said that. Okay.
One of them guys woke up and started listening to something else. I don't know what radio station he was tuned into. That fucker went all the way. I don't know where he went. He told me about you talking about numbers for prices. And no, man. I be all over the place sometimes. I don't know. I could have sworn. I will let you know. Trust me. If I win, and you did say time.
Please go back. I want you to.
I can't right now, man.
I know. I'm just saying whenever.
I'll text you. Don't worry. Trust me. That'll be the first thing on my mind before I go to bed. Good. You ever seen the meme with the fat girl singing and she sings in all kind of tones?
Oh God, no, hell no.
No?
That sounds horrible.
A big fat girl.
Oof.
You're gonna see him pretty
That sounds
soon.
terrible.
You know how the internet works right now. It's listening to me, so it's gonna start giving
Yeah,
you
so
those.
any second now is gonna pop on my screen.
Yeah, and then
Any second now.
the motherfucker that looked like a walrus.
Wow. That's terrible.
I don't even know if that's a trans dude trying to be a girl. Talking about it can get any man with her body. I'm like, and Fadi cut that shit out when she was talking in a podcast.
Oh Lord, what'd they say?
Because I seen her in a podcast and she never spoke, but this time they got the part when she spoke. And they took that out, just that little piece, and made it like a 5-second meme. I could get any man I want. I could get any man I want, but she looks like a walrus.
Wow.
Like hilarious. Wow. And I'm sure she can too.
Somebody, but I still hope somebody likes walruses.
I'm sure she can too, bro. She ain't gonna say that because she can't. There's some desperate motherfuckers out there, dude. I told you.
Not desperate, like some people.
Desperate.
Like people of all kinds.
Desperate. They're desperate.
You don't think that could be someone's preference? I mean, I can't imagine it, but maybe there are people are into some weird shit, my friend. So, like, you know, they just may not. They may be into alternative bodies.
No, if you're paying for anything, it's because you're desperate.
I'm not paying. I'm saying, like, I don't mean it like that. I'm saying the fact that she looks like a walrus. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh.
I hope that there's somebody out there who likes walruses. Because, you know, even walruses deserve to be loved.
Everybody. And she will.
Right? Yeah. So I hope somebody loves walruses.
There's many of them that fights for the walruses and love the walruses. She's not alone. That's what I'm trying to tell you, sir. I'm hearing you right this time, man. Trust me.
Yeah.
I didn't hear nothing. I heard what you said.
I feel bad for people sometimes. You know, life is fucked up. Like, you know, everyone is on some.
All right, I could take that note. No, I mean, I will make fun of a person who's fat, but I know they're gonna get their lives fulfilled. Everybody gets, because you see them with babies.
Yeah.
And then you wonder how. I'm not,
You're so funny.
I am not good, bro. I'm telling you, my mind.
You are so funny.
I try to keep that shit out of there, and I can't. It just comes in. But it's humorous. It's not evilish.
No, of course not.
Yeah, but I wonder.
About what?
How?
How what?
How to give birth. Dude.
What you mean?
The stirrups and shit. How does that look?
It's a little more crowded, but other than that, it's the same.
Shit. Like, yeah. Because I see my wife on the fucking mechanism. It's like you climb into this motherfucker. And I'm like, how? I don't know. It's workable though. I see that.
Yeah.
I guess that shit goes up and down like the fucking thing in the weight machine, right?
I guess.
You got little pins. You pull them out. Slide up, slide down. Swivel to the left, swivel to the right. Jesus Christ. I am not right, bro. I couldn't have been a gynecologist because then I would be refusing certain
customers,
certain types,
certain clients.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, but why, doctor? What you gotta say?
Imagine asking for the doctor for the spray. Like, what?
It's like, why won't you see me anymore, doctor?
I had to light a candle, bitch, when you left. What's wrong with you? That shit. Even with the goddamn mask, I had to go get the real mask.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you come out
a gas mask.
Yeah, you come out with a breather thing with two fucking cones on the side. It's actually what the fuck? It's like, sorry, last time you caught me off guard. This time I'm coming prepared. you ready, bro? You vented and everything. Nothing can pass through that shit. No, I couldn't be a gynecologist, bro. That wouldn't be polite. That I can't see that going well at all. Bitch, your shit stink. Hey, I got a little stove for you right there in the office. Like, you need one of these, and you owe me. You need one of these. Yeah, like Freddie. That stupid motherfucker. He used to just charge everybody the CBD through the medical to charge more.
Of course.
He was selling CBD through your insurance. Like crazy Looney Tune. Yeah, how much?
Wow, they do that now?
No, this guy is playing with fire.
Oh,
it's something common, just like you using the copy of the
something else.
Listen, I guess it's just as common as you using the copier in the school, my friend.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's just something that he can do as a doctor.
Yeah, exactly. It's just something you can do.
Right, he has that permit shit.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I've been selling weed through a fucking CBD license. What are you gonna tell me? It's not CBD. It looks like CBD. Who's gonna argue about that?
Right, you're gonna take it to the lab.
And I won't doubt that shit shows up as CBD. Because today there's no real weed. It's just no more real weed. Yeah, everything to be by law, they all blend everything with sativa.
Yeah, what is that? Why do they do that? Like, I noticed, like, at the dispensary, everything is a combination of two strains.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why? Why can't you just have, maybe you like the one strain, you don't want nothing mixed with it.
Right. And
and everything is a combination. I'm like, what is this?
That all worked out because of the bill, the way they worked out the bill. To pass CBD legal, they distinguished the fucking marijuana plant, the one plant. They made sativa basically CBD, and indica is what THC marijuana. This is how they did it.
Interesting.
Yeah. Not understanding.
As if sativa doesn't get you out.
Not that's the law saying it. That's not what the chemist is saying.
What's the reality?
That's what I was arguing. I was not arguing. I was trying to say, if I would have copied that shit or screenshot them pages, I would have been able to show the world that these people done edited all this stuff.
Right.
Yeah, because before you had sativa, indica, and there was a hybrid. Yeah, they always have a hybrid because you always, I don't know if you ever remember, I told you got a male plant, a female plant, and then what? A hermaphrodite. That's a motherfucker that got both. That's what Reggie is. Reggie is a hermaphrodite. Because it has buds and seeds. A female would not have no seeds. And a male would be right the opposite. A male tree has no buds. It's just what looks like a bud is a fucking ball of seeds.
Right.
Just seeds, a whole bunch of seeds, a whole bunch of seeds, a whole bunch of seeds. So a hermaphrodite has both. You could smoke Reggie. You pull out the little seeds it has. Sometimes it has. I pull out like 20 and 30 seeds out of a bud.
Wow.
In Reggie. And so that's how that works. So the law wanted to pass CBD, and since sativa is the one that relaxes you, kind of like bullshit, I guess. And that's what they went. Because today I don't need.
Sativa is like if you're doing work and you don't want to go to sleep, you take sativa. If you want to be creative.
Right, they call it the head
high. You want to think about stuff, if you don't mind.
Am I wrong? They call it the head high.
Yeah, that's the head high. And then indica is the body high. That's where everything just shuts down.
I don't know why indica they use sativa like that, but sativa is like basically CBD, they say today.
Wow.
Yep, and almost everything is mixed. And
which is very annoying.
So in your weed shops,
Like
you don't have no.
there's this strain called Northern Lights,
Right.
and I love Northern Lights. And they finally got it by me, and I was so shocked because it wasn't mixed with anything. It was just Northern Lights. I was so happy, and they ran out of that shit so fast. And once they run out, they don't know when they're getting it back.
Oh.
So it's not like they have like a steady, certain thing they always have. No,
You can't.
It's always different.
You can't
Like
because
you can't get attached to anything because you're not gonna be able, unless you buy a tons of it. But other than that, you can't count on the fact that it's gonna be there.
because they only grow batches, and after that batch is gone, you gotta get another one.
Right.
Yeah, and they grow and harvest, and then maybe the harvest wasn't the same one for the next one. They done grew something else. You ain't gonna, yeah, and it flips around. Yeah. So no, that's how that shit works. Everybody don't grow Northern Lights. Sometimes they want to grow something else, and you only got so many acres. So you're only gonna push so much.
Right.
No. So that's how you gotta find a good farmer, dude. Because the farmers are the farmers.
That's what I gotta do. I gotta go find me a farmer.
The farmers are the one who has all of them.
Well, the truth is, once I leave, I won't have access anymore.
Wow. Well, you did it. You went already. How long you went? Like 6 months without no smoking?
No, it wasn't that long. It was just like about a month and a half. Almost 2 months.
All right. Just imagine that tenfold and see how that feels.
Yeah, no. Once I was over it, I was fine without it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was fine. In fact, I actually liked it. It was like, oh wow, I can actually remember my dreams now.
Yeah, I think I need. I know when she leaves, I'm gonna probably stop smoking because I gotta pay attention to everything that. Yeah, like everything.
Right.
Yeah, I can't.